Peace, YouTube. Thank you guys. Peace, YouTube. This is Fleurbrun coming to you today with a new topic of discussion. So, yes, I'm live. Check on in. It's early, rising. I think for some of you in the West Coast, it's really early, right? West Coast, I think y'all are in like 7 a.m. So I'm like your break fast. I'm like your coffee, your mocha chaka chaka. So check on in. Hey Emily. Hey Inverse Prism. Hey Try. You guys up? Hey superhero. Check on in. Hey salut. Hey Cheryl. It's all good. Hey Linda. Hey Yafi. Hey Queens D. Hey Dawn. Hey Donald. Hey Drake. Hey Rio. Hey Asta. Hey Oz. Y'all are up early. Okay, maybe it's because I'm usually late. I can only come when my little ones are preoccupied. So check on in. We're gonna get into a new topic of discussion. The rainbow event is back. Personally, I don't think it ever left. To be honest, it's actually been here. So what am I? I'm up to. I'm up to the shenanigans this morning. There was so much going on. Did you hear about? I don't know if you guys heard. It was like crazy. I guess like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting like emergency calls. It's like the Fleurbrun hotline on my phone, and I'm getting calls that Twitter was hijacked last night by what was it? Like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting phone calls that Twitter was hijacked by anonymous, and that IG went down and they took over IG for like a minute. Did it go? Was it last night? This morning? Yo, it was crazy. Like 3 o'clock in the morning, my phone would not stop. It was like kept going off and off. I was like, who is calling me? Who is calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning? And I shake because I got little people and I got a little one. So, waking up the babies and from my house. Come on, y'all. Anyway, so yes, please put a like on the video as you step in the hands. So anyway, we're going to talk about the rainbow event and how it's interrelated with Niburian's return. Now, yesterday I got a little nervous because maybe I should before I speak on the topic, let me say this. I apologize for anyone who is really concerned about my well-being. I think I made the video saying I was fine and safe. I made a safe video and I kind of brought that to the side. I was fine. My Intellis, now listen, I won't be having my Intellis on YouTube again. I will only put them on Patreon. Why is because, yes, I have to say this. You have to realize that anyone in the know is going to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't know why you think that people are going to be so cool and smoothed out when they're scared. Most Intellis are dead. You know what I mean? People were like saying he's all squeamish, he's scary. Yeah, I mean, listen, and it's not somebody who's getting paid to give me intel, it's somebody that I know. So if he acts a little squeamish and scared and a little piloted, he's really just a little, he's obviously nervous and really paranoid based on people actually being taken out. I mean, there's actually reason why he should be paranoid. I wouldn't want to get information from him if he was too calm and smooth. You know what I mean? So he didn't even disseminate the information. It was kind of, and I shouldn't have put him on the main YouTube. So let me apologize. I shouldn't have had him on here because just people, it's just different on Patreon. It's a smaller group. People can come on. So he will come on Patreon next time. So I want to apologize. Y'all felt I was unsafe. His language, listen, not everybody doesn't curse. Not everybody is cool as a cucumber like myself sometimes. And you see when I get piloted. So I just want to apologize to bringing that to you, probably because it wasn't appropriate to bring it on main YouTube. And secondly, he is a scary person. He's a scary mofo, and he should be. And he's from that life. So he's packed and loaded, and that's just what it is. So for those who got a glimpse of that and you felt a certain way, listen, you don't have to, everybody on my channel may not be your cup of tea. They just may not. I talk about UFOs and ETs and extraterrestrials. A lot of people think we're crazy. So if you see people that look a little wild on my channel, It's because it's a wild west out here. So no, I just want to put that out there because my intellis came on. He was covered up, and y'all, certain people felt a kind of way. He's about that life, and he wasn't disrespectful to me. He's really quite, actually, gratefully, he's really loving to me and very protective. So even though he yelled at the end, like, shut the camera, he wasn't only talking to me. Actually, he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to somebody else who was present in the room. It was more than me recording. So that's something that you guys didn't know. Is turn the camera off, turn the camera off. so so anyway, I just want to put that out there because y'all felt a certain way, and I just want to let you know it's not that, it's that serious, but it wasn't that serious, okay? But he will be on Patreon next time. I won't bring him on the main channel. Uh, anyway, so let's get into conversation about the return of the rainbow energy, how it interrelates with the return of Niburu. Okay, so yesterday I got a little nervous because I started to see the rainbow all over again, and it was everywhere. I was looking on all the illumination, all the lights, the sky. I was seeing the rainbow. Now remember, I don't know if some of you are newer to my channel. The rainbow event occurred, what is it, 3 years ago? Is it 3 years ago, y'all? I don't know. How many years? Do you guys know? I don't remember. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? Was it two? It was 3 years. If it was 3 years ago, that's a long time ago. 2 years ago? Okay, roughly in that 2 years ago. When it occurred, I was in the Bronx, at Kirk's mom's house. Remember y'all knew I was in the Bronx, in the South Bronx, with Kirk's mom's house, and I experienced a full-on event. Now, at the time, I didn't feel qualified to deal with it. And remember, I told you Rudolph of Germany came through a portal. It was deep, family. It was real. 1000% it happened. When people say, oh, other people will say, oh, I had a dream. No, it wasn't a dream. I was wide awake. I was cognizant. It was full 1000%. Okay, so this time yesterday, they're doing I don't know, family. Hold on. It's going to be a little loud. I got red dirt all over. They're doing construction everywhere. They mess with my peace of mind. Hold on. It might get a little loud. Maybe I should put my headphones on. Let me put my headphones on. Hold on. I'm tired of the construction. I know that, if anything, UFOs don't bother me. Reptilians decloaking doesn't bother me. But loud noises from machines that are just messing with our earth, that bothers me. But it's going to be loud too. I'm just going to put my headphones on because I can't take it. You hear it? Does it bother y'all? It bothers me. Hold on. Hold on. You see him in the back? For someone who grew up taking the subways, I know it's crazy because I've taken the subways all my life in New York. I just don't like this kind of sound. And you better not stop here. Okay. It's construction everywhere. They're trying to cover up for Niburu coming in. Anyway, let me put my other earphone on. I feel, I'm all messy. Okay. Anyway, so let's get it in. So we have, yesterday I was experiencing tons of rainbows all over the illumination. And I got a little nervous because I was seeing it everywhere. So I saw it on the lights. First I saw it when I first started to see it yesterday. It was around, what time? Because I did the show and then I was up early. Then I did a kiki and then I was running around doing errands. So the first time I saw it, I saw an illumination in the sky. And I was like, oh, shoot. And I got a little nervous because, remember, the rainbow event, as much as I was prepared for it by Rudolph of Germany, I'm being honest, family. I got to keep it real. It was frightening. I don't ever say that the rainbow event wasn't frightening. The only reason I was able to get through it is because Rudolph came through a portal. So when somebody does something crazy like that and tells you that you're qualified to deal with the energies, I'm kind of like, all right, okay, I'm going to muster through it. Okay. And remember, my goal was to get to my children. So I think that's the only reason I kind of made it through. I kind of pushed through the fear, because when you see something like that, family, I'm being honest, when you see that big luminous, iridescent, kind of like bubble looking rainbow coming in a wave, it isn't something that you would not be frightened of. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care how many quantum therapy, hypno, oh, it's going to come and you'll feel amazing. No, you'll be frightened. I was, and I'm pretty, and I've seen a lot of things. So, yesterday I started to see the illumination in the sky. So I got a little nervous. I'm being honest. I was nervous because I was like, okay, I don't know that I don't know that I really want to go through this right now. I'm being honest. It's like in my mind, and this is so matrix in thought, I was like, yo, I got mad errands to run today and I can't deal with the rainbow. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how you'll go into matrix mindset, because I had mad things to do yesterday and I was like, I don't have time for this rainbow energy. That's how I felt. So I'm seeing in the sky, so I got nervous. So I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe it's something that's just coming maybe with the radiation or something in the sky. So I just said, okay, I see it, so let me just go about my business. So I'm going and I'm running errands, and then I'm seeing it on everything, literally on every single thing. So if anything had illumination, anything that was lighter, like a light, a fixture, you know, when you open up your car doors, the rainbow was wide and it was bright. So I said, oh my God. I said, okay, the rainbow wave is here, and apparently it's on everything. So it's not like before when it was a wave and I had to, you know, kind of bunker down and kind of ground myself when it came. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you want me to tell them. Someone just said they had love bugs all in their house. I think that's part of it. I think that's another part of this thing. Okay, so I like I said, with the last, I'm going to try to stay focused. With the last part of the event, it's like I had to bunker down and I knew the wave was coming, and it was coming slow but fast. So I kind of dealt with it as it came. This is different. Yesterday it was all over. First, I saw it in the sky, and then any illumination, a lantern outside, my car lights, I look in the car lights and so on. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, the rainbow is here. It's not like before when it was coming. It's all over, and I could feel my body reacting to something that I could not see that day. So I kind of qualified some of my bodily reactions previous to me acknowledging the rainbow as connected to the rainbow energy. And a lot of this you guys may have been feeling and not known. Maybe it's just a matter that I can see it because I had experience with it. So I noticed that yesterday I was having the air was really thick. I told you, you know, Florida is like Africa now. It's like all these people driving around our neighborhood. Florida is like Africa. So the air was really thick. And then also I felt like my head, like almost like my head, my vessels in my head were like, not a headache, but like just, I could feel them. I could feel my vessels. If you can, I don't know how else to explain it. I could feel the blood vessels in my head. Almost like when you have a sinus, almost like pressure. It's pressure. Think, Walker MD, that's why you're MD, right? Think it to the MDs in the house. It felt like pressure. So only time I've ever had that, really, to be honest, is when there's a hurricane. So right before a hurricane, any of you are from warmer states or the tropics, right before a hurricane, look at these bastards. You will see Fleurbrun unravel. I unravel with these now. It was a lot of pressure in my head. So right before a hurricane, you usually get this. Salud, you're right, because you're in Florida too. You always feel it. Anybody from Florida or anywhere tropical or the islands, right before a hurricane, sometimes days ahead of time, we always get buildup of pressure, and you feel it in your head. And you know, sometimes we get headaches for like days. It just depends on how much pressure is building. But for the last week or so, we've been having a lot of really humid weather. It's not uncommon. It isn't uncommon to have humid weather in Florida, in Orlando, but the pressure with it is odd. So yesterday I had a buildup of pressure. I just could feel my vessels in my head. My heart was like, I could feel almost like palpitations, but it was different. It was always like, you know, when you know, like, I don't know if you've ever been excited about something. I don't know if you've been excited about something. Like, you ever get excited, like, you know, your graduation is coming, or like before I was getting married, before my marriage, I get excited. It's almost like an excited, but you have nothing, there's no qualified feeling for it. So yesterday it was like anticipation or excitement, like butterflies. Yeah, it feels like that, like an excitement, but there was no reason to be excited. Because remember, I had to run mad errands yesterday, and I had to get it done because my little ones, you know, I have to make sure I get things done because I want to make sure the little ones are always secure. You know, I'm always on mommy mode. Ever since I've been a mother, it's like my whole life is geared towards making sure everything's secure for the children. I don't know. I guess it's just a mindset. Anyway, so I started to see the rainbows, and again, in my matrix mindset, I was like, I'm not prepared for this. I don't need to see a rainbow right now because I got mad errands to do, and I've only got a certain amount of time to do it. So as I'm driving around, I'm thinking to myself, okay, my body's feeling this way. Now I know why. And the rainbow is all over. It's in the car, it's in the lights everywhere I'm going. And I took a picture because, you know, I'm a big fan at proof in the pudding. I will always take pictures of everything to qualify it. So I take a picture, and I took 3 pictures and nothing was in the pictures. 0. There wasn't any rainbow in the pictures. Then I told my eldest daughter, I said, listen, baby, do you see what mommy's seeing? Do you see the light? And she said, yeah. I said, do you see the rainbows on the light? She said, no. I said, look at that light over there. I said, do you see any lights on it? She said, absolutely no. So I know that whatever I was perceiving, it's just because I've experienced the rainbow. I have a foresight for it. It's something, I think, because I had experienced the rainbow energy, the rainbow event. It's almost like my mind or my subconscious already, it can identify it. So I'm assuming because of that, I'm identifying the rainbow energy, but it's everywhere. It was on everything. It was on water. I saw waterfalls. I saw fountains. It was everywhere. The rainbow energy was everywhere. So now I'm realizing that because we have Niburu, and this is where I think we should have qualified this when Allison Coe gave the QHH reveal of all the people saying that this rainbow event was coming. I think we should have qualified it that there was a reason why the rainbow event was coming. It wasn't necessarily that it was just going to come preamp because we were raising consciousness. It's actually coming because of a physical, a spheric gaseous planetoid is coming closer. So it's bringing in a field of magnetic energy that we haven't in this, you know, in this incarnation, we haven't qualified before. So with it, it's bringing rainbow energy. Now I showed a picture, big it to Selma. Selma showed a picture of what someone identified as Niburu. And I want to talk about Niburu and its visual appearance. Niburu is huge. It's way bigger than Earth, way bigger than most planetoids that we've ever visually been able to acknowledge. It does show up and then disappear. So when I showed a picture, if you notice that the picture, you'll see a kind of gaseous and rainbows around. And it looks like a cloaked kind of sphere underneath. That's Niburu. Niburu is cloaked in the way it shows up because it's kind of gaseous. I do agree with her in that way. It's a gaseous planet. It isn't perceivable in the way that our naked eye, our archaic naked eye could see it. It's a planetoid that shows up, and because our perception is limited, and along with all the garbage they put in the sky, the food, the GMO food to mute our sensories, we aren't able to perceive the spectrum of light that comes along, or even the perception of this type of spheric, geometrically spheric gaseous planetoid, because of our muted sensory. And I personally think, this is my opinion. Now, anyone else, I would love for you to chime in. This is where I would love you to chime in on what you're feeling. I personally feel because Niburu is so close to us and it's coming in, it's bringing in this magnetic energy and magnetic energy. Oh, wow. Did you see that? Why did my phone do that? Did you see that? That's wild. It kind of froze. Okay, with this magnetic energy that it brings in, it is an appearance of a rainbow. So now I personally think, no, I know, I can't qualify it yet. I just know this, that Niburu is the reason why the rainbow event happens. Now I know why, because it was happening. Now everyone can kind of, because a lot of you have had experience with the rainbow, even if you weren't able to see it with your eye. I'm able to see it now because I underwent the entire process of the rainbow event. So apparently I can see it. But everybody, it's here, and you're perceiving it on your other layers of sensory. So some of you are feeling it. I know you're feeling it because I talked to many of you. You're feeling it. You feel the rainbow energy. You may not see it, but you're feeling it. You're feeling like the thickness in the air. You're feeling like your head a little spinny, kind of just feeling like your equilibrium is off. That's all the rainbow energy. That's how you feel. And also the excitement. Vertigo. Yes, vertigo. But it's excitement too. It's almost like, oh, these bastards. I can't. I'm gonna have to. I almost feel like they do this purposefully. It's almost as if you're having a party. Like that's what I'm saying. It's an excitement that you can't qualify. It's excitement. I know you're feeling it because we're all feeling it, like anticipation of something. But what if I told you that the rainbow event is happening? It's on site because the rainbow's everywhere. Yesterday, I saw it everywhere. And before that, around this, remember, it happens in like a spiral pattern. So what I realized before the actual event that I had, that 2 or 3 years before the so-called rainbow energy happened, around the same time in March every year, I would get these weird kind of palpitations. Always around that time. Before I had the event happen, before I even knew of a rainbow event, before I even perceived it or experienced it. I always, around March of every year, many of us were probably having the same experiences of having weird kind of physical reactions to something that we couldn't qualify or quantify. We were just having it around March. And then when the event happened, I then qualified that the reason why that thing happened in March, even before we could see it or acknowledge it, we were experiencing Niburu bringing in this magnetic energy that literally was bringing waves of energy from this planetoid and from the center of the, because remember, it's bringing debris with it. It's bringing debris with it. It's bringing moons with it. It's bringing suns with it. That all has energy. That's a huge amount of energy that we would have to feel. That's not just coming when a planetoid that big comes with a posse of asteroids. Nobody's even talking about all the asteroids that are hitting the planet. Do you know how many asteroids have hit our planet over the last 2 to 3 years? That has never been, they won't even talk about it. That's how you know it's here. So it's been bringing this debris. With that debris comes a lot of magnetic energy, because if you think about it, the sun, if it's bringing its own sun, a couple suns, because remember, we can perceive the 2 and 3 suns now. Remember, I took pictures about this. If you knew me from my channel before I had YouTube, many of you knew me from before, where I used to take pictures of the second sun. And Dr. Deborah Blair used to talk about this. So I used to take pictures. I used to love fun, especially when my little ones were really little. I'd go out in the field where I garden, and I would take this bastard. I think they just messing with me. I think everybody's a Smithable. I think there's Smithables all over. Whenever there's not a Karen, there's a Smithable. Smithables are everywhere. They just try to intercept. Anyway, let me keep going. So, with the debris and the second sun, we knew that there was going to be a heightened amount of, because remember, sun brings magnetic energy, okay? Could you imagine if we not only had the double sun, but the triple sun, which we know exists, okay? And if you don't believe me, if you think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, you can very much go, what the frick? You can very much go to look online, and you will see in Siberia, they can actually see the third sun. I know in Siberia was the one place. I'm not sure if the other place, I don't know if it was South Africa or it was Tanzania. But I do know in Siberia, you can actually see the 3 suns. You see them almost like in an angle. Okay? So just imagine, just for a theory, let's just take a theory as maybe fact, okay? You have a huge planetoid coming that does its cylindrical return every 3,600 years. With it, it brings not only space dust, alien debris, dust that they're saying is coming from sub-Saharan Africa in the States. That's BS. All this dust that was coming from Planetoid X. Planet X, Nibiru, the brown dwarf, whatever you want to call it, it was coming from that because of all this extra debris coming with the planetoid pulling things with it as it's doing its cylindrical return. Okay? And then with that, you have not only the suns, but moons. And we know how moons affect any planetoid that they come near, just like our artificial moon, which is a satellite. Anytime you have these huge or even smaller planetoids or look at them. You know, these men need to get it together. They're doing it purposefully. I just saw him. Pervs. Men need to act like they've seen women before. Some men act like they've never seen a woman before. Now I know why they're doing it. They keep passing by, looking inside of my car, looking at me. Creepers. You know, this is, men, not all men do this, but it's like, come on, y'all. Men need to act like they've seen a woman in their life. Like I never understand how they act like they've never seen like a human woman. Sitting in a car, come on now, and they're probably all married, acting like a, what I mean? It just pisses me off sometimes. I mean, sometimes we don't like all that attention, sun stars sometimes. Yeah, y'all. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm digressing. Okay, so we have all this debris, this space debris, coming along with the planetoid that's bigger than us. So magnetically, it's shifting us. Remember, our gravitational pull is lessening because the closer it gets, that's why we're getting all of these earthquakes, these typhoons, these huge excuse me, weather-related changes is because we're having such a huge change in the way that our planet is reacting atmospherically. Okay, atmospherically. Um, I mean, let me just do it with Sa. Let me do it with Sa. I'm gonna put my. I'm sorry, family. I'm not gonna show you on camera. I'm just gonna put my middle finger up. I can't. Fleurbrun will curse people when it's necessary. I'm gonna put my middle finger because he's gonna come back around. And I got the little one napping inside. I can't go inside because I'm too loud. I'm gonna have to make videos like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm just taking deep breaths. Taking deep breaths. Oh, let me just. I can't. That's it. Oh my god. You see it. I'm not making it up. Look. Look at him. You can see him. Look it out the window. I can't make this up, family. I can't make it up. There's no. He's going back and forth. Okay. Whew, okay, I'm fine. I just have to take deep breaths. Okay? So I won't unravel. All right? The Smithables are everywhere, and they utilize men who are horny, who have, lack of self control to, drive them to do odd, irrational things. Okay? Okay, there we go. I'm fine. I'm back. Okay? Um, so now that you realize that we have a planetoid, and like I said, you can always verify if you think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, if you think that I'm making these things up, I want you to, do your own due diligence and research, and you can always find out basic things online. These aren't things that are hidden. Actually, the things I share with you are quite researchable. Okay, so some people will deny Planet X is coming. It is absolutely 1000% perceivably here. Okay. And if you don't think it's here, why are we having such atmospheric disruptions more so than ever? Okay. Why do we have ice caps coming up on South African beaches? Big chunks of ice pushing up on South Africa beaches because we're going through a pole shift. I can't emphasize that enough. I know years ago, y'all thought I was crazy when I said it 6 years ago on YouTube. People really thought I was going loony for cuckoo, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And then you realized that maybe Fleurbrun maybe she's really not that irrational. Okay. So anyway, so we have the debris coming in and it's bringing in a lot of magnetic shifts. And with that, it is literally it's literally propelling it's literally shifting our magnetic field. Okay? Family, you see him doing it. He's going back and forth. It's a form of harassment. It's like harassment. And I would have to go in the house for him to stop. But this happens occasionally. It's just, these are just like bored males. Okay. So now, family, we're having, thank you, my love. There was an unusual iridescence in the sky yesterday. Oh, see? Wait, ninth realm is having experience. Hold on. Breaking news. I kept staring at it a while doing the dishes. I thought I was seeing things and I had the same excitement. There we go. Like I did 2 years ago when I experienced the rainbow event. Okay, so ninth realm, I get excited. I'm sorry, I'm yelling. I get excited. Ninth realm has also confirmed that she experienced the rainbow event and she also perceived it yesterday. I can't lie to you, family. See, she experienced it. It's here, but yesterday it showed up. See, she saw it. And you know what it is that you don't hear enough people because, it's almost like they'll cloak events happening with other things. Like they'll create a distraction. Yesterday, there was all this weirdness happening on social media. They'll try to distract you when something really big is happening so that you're not noticing, or you just kind of like yesterday, like she's washing the dishes. I'm going to do errands. It's like, there isn't like almost a preparation. We're supposed to be prepared for this. I'm being honest. We're supposed to be prepared. Our tribes would have prepared us for this. Our elders would have said, listen, this is the time. The Hopi did it. The Chickasaw do it. I think even the Cherokee talk about it. I even think that, I know in Africa, they talk about the celestial energies returning and shifting the currency of our consciousness. They call it the currency of, I gotta write that down. It's called the currency of consciousness. Hold on. I keep forgetting that, because it was called the currency of consciousness. Okay. So it shifts everything. So that's why, family, yesterday, I'm so grateful. Thank you, Ninth Realm just spoke about it. This is why yesterday we were having this feeling. And I almost feel like 3 o'clock in the morning, like, I don't know how you felt. Like I was sleeping and I kept getting phone calls. I didn't vet out the whole Twitter thing. There was something going on social media last night, like attacks on social media. I feel like it was connected to this. I really do. I feel like it's connected to this rainbow energy. Almost like the dark Kabbalists have antis to it. Like almost like they do diabolical things at a time when we're supposed to have this enlightened connection to this energetic field that is obviously piercing through our consciousness and our world. So yes, so family, the rainbow event is here. I have another confirmed C star, and I'm saying many of you probably experienced it yesterday and could not, because we don't have someone else sharing it. So we don't know. It's like we're supposed to get the warning from our elders. That's all. We're supposed to get that. We're supposed to be prepared for this. Oh my God, the phone is going. So we're supposed to be prepared for this. So the rainbow event is here, and you are feeling it, and it is shifting you. It is making things change in your life. I don't know if you got a chance to see the what was the movie that came out the same year I had the actually it came out the same day I experienced the event. Nora knows. What's the new movie called? It's called no. What was the movie called again? Nora, what's the movie called that had the rainbow thing and they walked through it and it was changing animals and everything was merging together? Transcendent? No, it's not transcendent. It's Extinction. Extinction. Yes. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Jackie said extinction. It's called extinction. Oh no, it's annihilation. Annihilation. Okay, yeah, annihilation. Annihilation. Thank you, Toy. It's called Annihilation. Annihilation, if you haven't seen it before, freakazoids. If you haven't seen the show Annihilation before, you must watch it. It discusses this. Remember the girls walked into the shimmer and it was like a big wave? And then it was 4 females. Notice it was females who did it. When have you ever seen a team of females? Have you ever seen Willy Wonka send any females to do anything and together? It tells you something because that's who it affects the most. If you notice, it affects females the most. And then when they walked through the shimmer, remember they walked together, they saw all the things merge, like all the flowers were merging with the animals. It was literally everything merging. Remember we talked about the convergence and the return to unity consciousness. So as they walked through the shimmer, they lost time, right? Remember they didn't even know they set up camp. They had lost perspective of time. That usually happens when the gravitational pull, there's a lapse in gravitational pull, like the gravitational pull changes. It'll mess with your ability to retain information. Okay. When they walked in there, it was terraforming. Yes. And then they went through, they were seeing like everything merging, even the bear that ate and killed the young lady, it merged with her. And when it opened its mouth, they could hear her scream because she became part of it. So it's interesting that during this convergence, during this amazing event that's occurring, and I will say this because I called Narda last night and I told her I got intel to watch the event already. Again, now many of you who watched the original event that was with what's his name? I forgot his name. It was a show. It was a series that was on. I don't know if it was NBC or ABC. One of the sisters also placed it in one of the comment boxes. So big up to you. The event is a #1 show we're supposed to rewatch. Okay, so I started to rewatch it, and I told Narda, did you start to rewatch it? And it's interesting when I went to go rewatch the event. It's interesting to me that they charge so much money for it. Now, family, they never charge. You'll see what I'm talking about. Whenever we're supposed to see something, you're going to notice this. Whenever they don't want us to see something, they'll make it almost like more expensive, or it's crazy because it's an old series. It's like $24. I know it's not a lot, but I'm saying you pay for The Walking Dead. I don't know if any of you like pay for your series on Prime, but like for Walking Dead or newer series, you'll pay like $24. It charged $24 to rewatch the series. And I was like, wait a second. Okay, Blair Underwood. Thank you. Blair Underwood was in it. So I found it very relative because when I watched it, they were in my island, one of my family's island in St. Lucia. Big up to all the St. Lucians in the house. St. Lucia was in there. They had pinnacle places that I had already, it's almost like it was meant for me to watch it from a different perspective, because when I watched it years ago, gosh knows, we weren't even here, family. Oh, here he comes again, family. I want you to watch this. I want you to see the sickness in our world. Look, he's slowing down. Look at him. Oh no, that's another guy. That's another guy. It's not the same guy. My bad. I was going to blame the same guy as somebody else. The other guy's coming. So it was $24 to get the series. You have to watch the event over. When you watch the event, you're going to realize it is about the return of the Niburians, but they flip it. Okay, the Niburians are here. Okay, they're going to talk about beings that crashed here. Okay, and lived there, and they don't age. The woman was locked up for 66 years, and she looked the same. Family, I'm telling you, y'all. Oh, fire stick. I haven't used that. There he goes. Get a life. So anyway, you have to watch the event again. Again, I rewatched it from a different mind's eye. There's so many gems in that movie. It's $24.99. It's crazy. Why would they charge an old series? Because it's relative, family. It talks about the event. And remember, back in the days when the event ended, remember it stopped at the pinnacle point where something was coming in. Remember they said she could not tell you what they were doing there. Guys, you got to watch the event. It should be your homework. I know it's costly. Someone said you could have a fire stick. If you could get one of those thingamajiggies, get the fire sticky, whatever, and see if you could watch it from a fire stick. Okay? Why would it be trending? It's not even something that was trending. I'm just saying it's on Amazon. Yes, it's on Amazon. I think you guys can watch it. You can also watch it on YouTube, but it was the same price. It was the same price on YouTube. I've never seen that before. You know, I price checked it to see why they're charging so much because I know it's relative. So when I went on YouTube to see if it's the price of the series, it was the same price as Amazon. And I thought that was very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. So let's just put that in the sidebar. If you want to get a chance, go watch. If anybody could find it for free, if you could share it. Thank you, Yafi. If anyone finds it for free, because I prefer you not pay for it. You know what I mean? But it's just interesting that they charged for it. So a movie to watch is Annihilation, and also to watch the event. It's all relative to what we're going through right now. Right now. Okay? So right now we have Niburu coming back into our atmosphere. It is changing our gravitational pull. We're getting impending physical and geographical changes. That's why I discussed the pole shift. We have the Niburians who are here. That's why you're seeing all the upheaval. It is the return of, remember, we have a different guard, okay? A different guard is here. So right now you're starting to see a change in guard. You're starting to see a political system upheaval because a new group of beings is here. Oh, thank you, HBA. Thank you, my love. I look what they have, the little maraca. How do you guys... Everybody's trying to call me. Look, they're trying to interrupt. Who's calling my phone right now? I hope nobody on here is calling my phone. Guys, if I'm on a live, I don't know who it was. There's no name. They always call me during a live. Okay, so because Niburu is here, it's changing everything. And also, we're going to start to see, along with the change of guards, you're going to start to see a reestablishment of more tribal-based systems. Now, I don't know if this has to do with anything. I don't know. But I noticed something. Because remember, we have Smithitarians that are being set out forth. Now, remember, the modern day Smiths are the Karens, okay? I have a confirmation that, yes, the Karens that are infected by but I just saw, like, listen, I went to my Whole Food store. I got to confirm this. Remember when I made the video on the Karens, the modern day Smiths? I went to my Whole Food place in my neighborhood, you know, like a mom and pop Whole Food place. And these triggered bio terror. I'm trying to find a name for them. These nanobots, nanobot triggered beings. They're calling the popo on people. There was one at the Whole Food store because someone is not wearing their mask. See, this is another thing, family. This is infiltration. They want everybody to wear a mask. So now the nanobot masked Karens are calling the popo on people who aren't wearing it. This is like body snatchers. They want you to be body snatched too. So they want you to, it's almost like, remember the pods? Remember, I don't know, and here's another homework assignment. I'm going to have y'all watch all the movies. Go watch Body Snatchers, the original Body Snatchers, when they were bringing those pods, those flower pods to everyone's houses. I think the masks are the pods. The Smithitarian shapeshifted Karens, they're calling a popo on anyone now. This is the fourth time I've heard this. And you know, I live outside of the realm of anything. They're calling the popo on people who aren't wearing it, and they're doing it because how are you? Listen, family. I, I, this lady wrote a whole epilogue on someone not wearing her mask behind a shield because she said she could be infecting everyone. So she wrote like a 2-page letter on someone working at a Whole Food place who wasn't wearing her mask while she's disinfecting things behind the screen. Let me tell you, the Karentarians, it's like Karen terrorism. These are terroristic Karens. I told you, back away from them. They're trying to pod everybody. They're trying to make you wear those infected. Why is everyone wearing those blue masks too? I think the infection's in the blue mask. Why is everybody wearing those? Why are you wearing sickly looking hospital masks all over? Did you guys notice that? I don't know if it's just me. I just noticed that most of the masks that they're wearing are these hospital looking masks. They look sick. I'm just saying the visual looks crazy. Massive mass destruction. And then let me just give you a FYI, y'all. YouTube took down one of my videos yesterday. It's the only time they've ever given me a letter when they repeat. Listen, normally when they take my videos down, they don't even apologize. They just take it and they don't give me explanation. Yesterday, they took down my video called the Kukarachi, what is it? The T virus Kukarachi equals fungi. And you know what's interesting about this video? I'm going to do a screen. I'm going to do a screen watch of it because why are you taking down the one video? This is the one that was related. It wasn't me talking. It was me sharing the Italians saying that they found out that the cucarachis wasn't related to a virus, that they found out that it was a fungi that was highly kinetically reactive to radiation. And then that fungi would, when it's activated, create a coagulant that would thicken up the bloods, causing blood clots, and that it would also hamper your ability to take in oxygen in your cells. Remember the video? I shared it on. I remember I made the video. I didn't talk in it. I kind of redid it. They took it down yesterday, so it makes me know that that is a remedy because it says for you to take. Remember we talked about taking a little bit of a blood thinner for those who are A's. Why you're more susceptible to that type of reactivity to the blood clots is because your blood is a little thicker. Okay, and it talks about taking either herbs. We talked Hello? Can anyone hear me? I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me again. Can anyone hear me? You guys can't see me? It's still frozen? No sound? Can you guys hear me? You can hear me? Yes? It's back? Okay. Yes. Oh, finally. Okay. All right. I had to turn my phone off. I had to wrap it in like a Fahrenheit. And then I just went inside for a minute, came back out, and it's back on. Oh my God. I don't. What was the trigger word? Can anyone tell me what was triggered? What did I say that triggered for them to mute it so I don't repeat it again? Can anyone give me the trigger? What was it? What was the trigger word that I said? Okay. Okay. I won't say it again. I can't say it again. Okay. All right. Okay, so that lets you know, family, whatever I just said, that is the issue. Make sure you take that and run with it. There is no reason why they had to mute me. As soon as I said that was a trigger word, they totally knocked it out. Okay, so make sure you keep that, write it down. Anything that does that, make sure you write it down and utilize it when you're feeling a certain way. It's crazy. My God. Okay. So make sure you deal with that. I won't touch it again because I don't want them to, they're going to mute me if I say it. Now I know trigger words. You know what's crazy? Do you wonder why I make all these terms like cucarachas, T-virus? If I didn't make the term, you know how many videos would come down? Hey, pretty monotheism. You know how many videos would come down if I didn't make these words, these alternative terms for these things? It would be taken off. All right, so let's keep in the conversation. Let's keep going. So that was a video that they took down. So do know that there is a second wave coming. Now, I will say this. I have to fly out. To go somewhere. And one of the things I know that when you're flying is that there's a lot of radiation. Oh, I shouldn't even say that. A lot of I don't even know what to say. Microwaving. What's another word for that? I'm going to have to say like microwaving when you're in the air. What I'll plan to do is I will drink some shungite water when I'm in the pulse microwave light blast. Okay. I will try to I'm going to travel, so I wanted to give some great advice to those who will be traveling, who are getting heightened amount of microwaving when you're in the air. Is that it's great to have some shungite, something in your system that can kind of mute the microwaving. So I think drinking shungite water before you get in, also bathing in it to neutralize it. Bring some charcoal with you when you go. Wear it on your body. Also, if you have any of those RFD protection, EMF protecting cloth, do wrap that on your, especially on your tummy if you're preggo. Yes, taking Corella before. These are things that you have to make sure you're doing while you're traveling, depending on how long the flight. Okay. I say you do that. Cover your head if possible with the wonderful EMF hats. If you have, I have the cloth, so I just put it in my hat, so you're not getting microwaved while you're in the air. Okay. We have to make sure we're doing that, family, because they're out of control. They're out of control, and when you're in a big encasement, especially with all of that microwaving coming out from the stratosphere. Remember, the higher up you are, the more you're exposed to a lot of that the waves coming in the sky. So that being said, make sure that you bring that. Thank you, Corella. The Corella, the Sun Corella is the one I use. Those are wonderful things to do. So that's just a suggestion of anyone who's flying, who has to fly somewhere within the next couple of days. I love the EMF. Oh, the EMF cloths are off the chain right now. Anything that's protection is now expensive. See, this is what I told. Remember, Narda? I told y'all to buy it when it was inexpensive. See, I told you to buy stuff like that when everybody thought I was crazy. Now you're seeing that everyone's buying it now. Now the cost is skyrocketed up. Just like the pad, the transmutation board. Remember the transmutation board? I told you guys to get it years ago, and then it disappeared, and now the transmutation board is like $100 more. Okay, all these things, if we stay 10 steps ahead of them, we can make sure that we always have what's needed at the time we need it. Okay, so literally what I do is I have my EMF cloth. I put it inside of, you know, those cute little hats I wear. I put it inside the hat. When you travel, I make sure I don't wear any metals on me, so I'm not microwaving. For your brasiers, make sure you aren't wearing wire bras. Okay, any wire bras, make sure you aren't wearing any wired bras on your tatas. Okay, or anywhere on your body when you're traveling, because remember, they're scanning you 50 million times. They're microwaving you all these times, so you want to make sure you neutralize it. Okay, make sure you keep your phones in an EMF pouch. I have that. This is the, wait, hold on, let me show you. This is what I traveled to when I was in Brazil. I think I showed you guys. I travel with this. You guys remember, this is my pouch. This is my RFID pouch. Okay, this is a natural Fahrenheit, so if you put your cell phones in here, it kind of mutes it anyway from you, and you can always wrap it while it's in here with the RFID cloth, so you aren't getting extra radiation. Oh, microwaving. Okay, just make sure you have this. Okay, and yeah, someone asked about braces in the mouth. All I say is like rubber, gum, bubble, and I'm not a fan of gum, but gum does mute that. Chewing something natural that kind of mutes the radiation. Oh, I can't, it's hard for me to use another word. Okay, they're coming with like the raise. Okay, thank you. Raise is good. I think you guys will get it when I say raise. Raise, thank you. I'll use raise. Raise is good because you'll understand what I'm saying. If you have braces, make sure you brush your teeth with charcoal. Yes, and shungite. That's absolutely wonderful. That's a great bit of advice. Thank you. So raise. I'll say raise as a way to denote that. The noise crew is coming. All right, family. So the rainbow energy is here. The rainbow event is here. We're experiencing it. Do know that if your body is reacting, do listen to your body. I think for a couple of days before this happened, many of us didn't want to eat. And oh, I was saying about the show that I was saying that if you can watch the event, very, very purposeful. There's stuff in there that doesn't make sense, but it does as you watch it. During the event, what you'll notice, I found it very interesting that they talk about that the people from the other planet were vegetarians. Okay? Remember, whenever something is about to be promoted or there's a new group of people coming into your stratosphere, we see it all the time when there's new groups of migrants that come in. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. It's harassment to the 20th power. No, they're actually doing work. This is something else. I can't. Okay. So what I'll do is when I travel, I'm going to have my transmutation board. I'm going to have my hat with my RFD on. I'm going to make sure that I take my chlorella before I travel. I'll make sure I drink some shungite water for 3 days prior and 3 days before I travel. These are wonderful things. But if you get a chance to watch the event, you'll see certain things that you'll see putting us in another frame of consciousness. Like I said, I know that Niburians are here. I do know there's a change of guard. I do know because there's a change of guard, a lot of the things that come with the Niburians are starting to be shapeshifted. So like I said, you're seeing all of the old monuments being torn down that have to connect to mostly draconians. I had to do a little bit of research to see which monuments are being torn down and allowed to be torn down. So I went through several of the different monuments, and the ones that I researched so far are all connected to the draconians, the blood lineage. Okay, so what you're starting to see is a breaking down and collapsing of an old system of old tier of hierarchy that was existing, and then there's going to be an illumination and a re-amplification of a specific type of blood lineage that has been disallowed to have power since the Niburians left. Okay, so basically Niburian offspring have home court advantage, and mostly the women. That's why even in the event you saw a woman as their leader. Okay, it's a matriarchal establishment, so that's why women have home court advantage, because with the Niburians comes back the matriarchy. Okay, that's who rules. Even in Annihilation, you saw 4 women going into the rainbow energy. Okay, that's why women are having much more, not to say males, our males are having it too, but women are actually feeling the connection or the shift much more physically, that is actually changing us. And you know, what's interesting is that we don't talk about how the rainbow is literally changing your DNA. The rainbow energy is actually changing and metamorphosizing your DNA. So for those whose DNA is being changed and morphed, that's probably why you're eating different foods. That's also why you're reactive to certain things. I notice I have allergies to foods that I did not have initially. Bananas, certain things I'm having reactions to that I did not have previously. I'm only making the assumption. I can't vet this out until obviously everything comes fully into full view. But I have a feeling that the foods that we're allergic to are almost something that the Niburians didn't have access to, or they have a sensitivity to. I just think that. I can't vet it out. This is just what I think. So I have a feeling that we're going to have a lot of new ways that our body will process energy. And notice I said energy and not food, because nutrition is supposed to be energy. It's supposed to translate into energy. When you take in nutrients, it's supposed to give you energy. Oh, thank you, Elijah. I appreciate it. And Anil are in the house. Niburu. He said Enki and Anil are in the house. Yeah, no, but the bananas are homogenized, and I know they are homogenized. The pods are not natural. Remember, when I was a little girl, in ancient days, you guys always ask me, in ancient days, we had black seeds in our bananas. Our bananas had black seeds. There's no seeds in the bananas anymore. If you look at all the bananas, there's, even if it's organic, it doesn't have black seeds. The only seeds I see, right? Remember? Jeannie remembers it. I didn't like the seeds in the banana. Remember that? When I was little, I used to try to get the seeds out of the banana. They were everywhere. There was seeds in the bananas. There's no seeds in a banana. Okay? Because they've been homogenized. Okay, now when you eat bananas, only the Chiquita, only when you get like the South American or the Central American banana, the Chiquita bananas, I think the Chiquita bananas still have seeds. Can anyone confirm that? Who is Chiquita bananas? Anybody here from Costa Rica, Mexico, or from Honduras? Can you guys confirm? I'm almost positive that your Chiquita bananas still have the black seeds. I'm almost positive, because I think when I went abroad, I know in my island they do. True? Does anyone have black seeds in their bananas? Okay, the Chiquita still has it, right? No? You still have the seeds in the Caribbean? Okay, so it's still there. Yeah, like the plants and trees. People don't realize the plátanos, Spanish, anybody here Spanish? Plátanos, plantains are they're cousins to the bananas. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. So I'm thinking that, family, a lot of these changes we're going to see in our body. And this is one thing that I know for certain. The reason why they're trying to give you the Kukarachi vaccination is because they want you to mute that X gene that's about to be expressed in your DNA. The X gene, listen, family, you don't realize what is X. X is a female. X-Men, it's X-woman. That's what it is, family. You don't realize the X gene is a female gene. So when that X gene comes online, it becomes a superhero, a superheroess, okay? The X gene is going to be expressed. Why they're trying to take all the women's eggs, and then they're going to try to, I told you, they're going to try to genocide or actually gendercide women, because that X gene is about to be expressed. That is why they're kidnapping all these women. That's why they're taking all these genes. They're trying to, big up to the Sea Stars. I told you they were paying people $100 to $200, $250 at the down in the lobbies. They were paying people behind the counters to give women's key cards so that these men could come and kidnap them in a house. Women are going to try to use women to control this X gene. So X is a female, okay? X represents the original female. That is why they're trying to control it. Hold on. So, and they're trying to get rid of all the females. They're trying to control the ones that they can get and harvest, take all the eggs. That's why they want transgenders to take on as a new female. Hey, cook up about that. Yeah, they're doing work out here. That's loud. Is it loud? Very loud, yeah. And there, I have a personal view that I don't want you to get dust on me. I have a personal view that the reason why they're doing such a push to get as many females as possible, and this is part of the intel. We're actually getting to the gentleman's intel on if tonight I'm going to do Aquarius Rising, and we're going to go into the intelist information. We're going to go fully into what was going on with why they're having so many kidnappings, okay? It is dusty. And why they're trying to hijack the original female while they homogenize an artificial male-female, okay? That's why the big push for transgenderism is because they're trying to shapeshift men into females so they can control them, because the original female is about to come online with the X gene. She's going to become the X woman, okay? So do know that's why they're trying to push that. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how everything happens over the next month. That's why I tell all the Sea Stars, protect your eggs, okay? Protect your wombs, and please do not have any abortions, especially now. I know a lot of women, this is very sensitive to you, and it's not me judging. Listen, I'm a woman of a certain age, and you already know Fleurbrun has made plenty of mistakes that I regret and I wish I could make differently. But abortions right now, with what's going on, they're going to take those fetuses, and I don't think many of you women would love to know that the child that you chose to elect to eliminate would end up being used in some sort of research or grown and made into something different. You wouldn't be okay with that. So Sea Stars, if you're not trying to have babies right now, close your legs. This is my advice, just as a woman of a certain age. If you're not trying to bring in star seeds fully online, then close your legs. At this point, this isn't the time for you to have unwanted pregnancies, because you're going to put yourself in harm's way, and you're going to make contracts, and you're going to collect karma from giving them children to utilize in their dark op programs. You get karma from destroying what you don't want. Someone else will use it. What you consider to be garbage, someone else will utilize. They're doing too much with women's wombs right now, and they're trying to make transgender men into full-blown women. And once they're able to do that, which they are going to try to destroy the original X, because we're about to come online. Watch your wombs. Protect your wombs. And young Sea Stars, it's not a judgment. You can consciously protect yourself, okay? You can consciously protect yourself. You can also control your reproduction organs, but you have to master that. Your friend's daughter had her baby, but I think they did something to, oh, I'm sorry. We got to protect the babies, y'all. We got sickos out here. Okay? So, and I wanted to reiterate that a lot of women are dying. Especially a lot of women of color are dying when they're pregnant. We talked about one of the YouTubers. She just passed away. There was another young lady who's was she a YouTuber or she was a celebrity? What was the other, there was one YouTuber. What was the other YouTuber's name? There was one, not the one who was Ghanese. There was another one. There was 2 YouTubers that died that were like 8 months pregnant. I forgot who. I'm not good with names. Sometimes I remember the names. I'm not. One was Taya, last name Tay, Thea. She was Ghanese, beautiful. She was Guyanese. She was 24. Okay, the other one was 25. Okay, that is happening more often, and I personally think it's being done purposefully. I just personally think it's being done purposefully. I think they're being, I think whatever they're doing, whether they're putting pulse frequencies, they're doing something because their blood pressures are hiking up, and they're doing something to the females, and then they're dying. Okay, one of the babies lived. I heard one of the babies lived. The second one's baby lived, and the first one, that was 24, her son died. Okay. So I'm just putting it out there for our young, especially young sea stars. I know a lot of times our males can't really control that aspect. They really can't. They can control it by not sticking their wands and empty seating females or thoterisms. You know, you males have to take responsibility for the women that you engage with. Some of you are okay sleeping with thoterisms, and then you wonder why she's archaic in some of her mental, incapacities. Okay. Sun stars choose women to mate with that would be perceived as a good mother. You know, she's dropping it like it's hot. She's drinking Hennessy every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. She's chiefing like there's a chimney up her lungs. You know, that isn't necessarily someone that you should want to have, procreate with. Call that judgment. Call me being a little mommy, but I'm just saying some of you sun stars have to take responsibility for you sleeping with some of these archaic thoterisms that are out here engineering children that don't want to be wanted or not going to be wanted. Okay, if she's not motherly and she tells you she's not mother material, y'all need to get your wands on point where your wands are only attracted to women that are healthy and good mothers. See, if your wand was working masterfully and it had magic, it would be able to decipher a healthy yoni so that it would only engage with those yonis that are just as masterful as the magic of your wand. And it would only engage, it could only get excited from those females that are able to bring forth beautiful star seeds. Okay, so if you're not about that life right now, if you're giving birth to children that are not wanted, you are part of the problem, and there's going to be a swift consequence to you, because a lot of these babies out here that are getting hurt is because they're unwanted. I keep it real with you. When you're a mother who loves herself and is very protective, children will be around you 24. You will keep them around. You'll keep them protected more so than you. Okay, because we got really crazy people out here doing some wild things, and they're trying to come for the women. And like I said, with Niburu coming in, and again, it's a female-based matriarchal system that's coming in. It's shape-shifting the environment, but the ante to that is that they're going to try to destroy the female here so that X gene does not wake up. They don't want that X to wake up, because once that X wakes up, that's why a lot of you sea stars are becoming more psychic. If you notice, a lot of the women are becoming more connected to source. A lot of the females on this planet are starting to be able to perceive when the weather's changing. Your DNA is waking up because it's an original X. So that's why they're trying to traumatize you and get rid of any of the original females that have that heightened amount of X quality, and they're trying to geoengineer a male to mimic a female so they can kind of, create an artificial construct of a female. A fake female. And I showed you, I know that some of you were offended. I apologize, but sometimes you have to see things for what it is. I showed you the video. I traumatized Aborazine yesterday because Aborazine didn't see the video. And I told Aborazine, I was like, this is why we don't need to have mixed bathrooms with beings that aren't original females. We do not need to share bathrooms with beings. I don't care who tells you that it's politically correct to accept mental illness as something that we should accept as a choice. Mental illness is something that needs to be checked, and someone needs hormonal therapy or mental therapy to be able to reestablish self-esteem. When someone says to you that they are a carrot and they feel like they were born to be a carrot and they're feeling orange and they feel like they want to have everyone acknowledge them as a carrot, and if they don't acknowledge them as a carrot because that's how they felt, because how you feel is definitely what it is, that if you don't call me a carrot and you don't acknowledge me as a carrot and you have that oh my God, they try to incept again. They try to throw my feet off again. Oh, wow. Did it go off again? Just because I talked about, am I good? Can you guys hear me? I said I wanted to be a carrot. I want you to see me as orange. I'm going to go to a plastic surgery who could put all kinds of beta carotene and inject it all over my face so I could be the orange carrot that I've always dreamt about. I'm going to sit and root myself in the soil. And if you look at me crazy because I'm bucking naked orange, putting my feet in the soil, then you're going to get in trouble and arrested for you not acknowledging my feelings about being a carrot. That's the kind of mental illness that y'all need to stop supporting. People who feel that they don't like themselves, they hate themselves, that's a form of self-hatred. If you're a brown woman and you don't like being brown and you want to change yourself into a lunar woman, that's called self-hate. It doesn't matter if it's gender, doesn't matter if it's complexion, doesn't matter if it's species, it's still a form of self-hate. You admire women so much you want to be like them to the point where you want to mimic them fully. You're so envious and jealous and dislike so much of who you are that you want to mimic something else. Stop it already. Stop supporting people who are suffering from that. You can support them by giving them, ushering them to the best therapist, and also offering for them to possibly do holistic healing and do some hormone therapy. That would resolve it. If I told you, family, that there's therapy for little boys in Europe that are having very troubled hormonal imbalance, where they're starting to act a little feminine. Once they give them the hormone therapy that balances out the testosterone, those little boys start being very masculine again. Everybody wants to be politically correct, but it's politically incorrect to support mental illness and to propel somebody further into their mental illness. Oh, Nicole Taya. Thank you, my love. It was Nicole Taya who passed away at 24. Okay, so you could call me a judgmental person. You can say Fleurbrun, whatever. Listen, listen, I'm a mother and I know mental illness when I see it. Okay? Someone who hates themselves, that is imbalance. And we all have moments of hating ourselves, but we have to get it together and start to do things to make ourselves feel better about who we are. That's it. Like someone on someone's channel accused me of being a man. This is how mental illness is crazy. It was another C-star on her channel. A man had the audacity to accuse Fleurbrun. It's not the first time. Someone else has accused me of being a man. You know why that's happening? Because there's such a push for transgenderism that men can't even identify a true woman. I have real breasts, but I had to share that video with you. Like I said, I traumatized Aborazine. I sent him the video of the transsexual man who looked just like a big woman, and he took his cocoa out. He took his little ding-a-lingy, because that's why I told you a lot of these men molest, and I realized why these men molest children, and also why someone wants a transgender surgery is because maybe their wands are so tiny that they don't feel qualified as men. We don't talk about the fact that some men have infantile genitalia, and that is why they don't feel qualified as men, because most women won't engage with a man who has a very challenged wand. So when I showed the video, I was showing you, because you think I'm talking smack, this woman man is standing up, and she takes out her genitalia. There's a little girl. There's a little girl next to her. She does not, she doesn't care that there's a little girl next to him while he takes his little genitalia, his little non-youthful wand, and plays with it when a little girl's there. See, this is the problem. Some people don't even like little brown children. This little brown girl's there, and because some people don't like brown children and don't feel they should be protected, they do stuff like that. I see people do things around brown children that they would never do around lunar children. I had to check someone the other day for doing it. When I brought my children out, somebody said something inappropriate around my children. I was like, yo, I have children in the house. You as a man, don't talk about your penis near my children. Don't even make reference to your balls when my daughters are around. You got to check people when they do things like that. There should be, when men make references to their penis and you have children in the room, that means he's suffering. He's one of those Waverly characters that could be effing with people's children. I check them all. So when this man is pulling out his genitalia, you got a little brown girl right next to him. He doesn't feel qualified to even do anything. And then he's touching his genitalia with the same gloves. And then he's probably touching all the doors, all the stores, all the items in the stores. That's why I say, C-stars, don't use your hands for hand sanitizer or anything. Use your gloves and make sure you clean your gloves. Don't touch your hands. That was disgusting. And when people are telling me that I'm a man or accusing me of being a man when I've given birth to children naturally and I have breasts of mass destruction, obviously we have a problem where maybe they're accusing me of being men because maybe that's what they are. And maybe they mess around with men that are really women that are really men. Anytime somebody would accuse a real woman of being a man, I always think, who are you hanging out with? You must be hanging out, or you too are questionable with your own sexuality with the way you are shown. And I'm not going to sit around and play this game with semantics, telling people I'm a real woman. You know, walking around here saying I'm a real woman. I don't have to qualify myself as a real woman. You have to qualify yourself if you're not a real woman. That isn't something I have to qualify myself. I walk around with a yoni with a beautiful with a beautiful stargate between my legs, and I am grateful for it. I'm grateful for my amazing womb that can bring in souls from all planets, of all complexions, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my breasts that have fed my babies fully breast milk that is qualified for them and has made them healthier. I'm grateful for that. So I'm not going to sit here and play those semantic games with people because there's a new type of, it's not even a new type of species. There are men who hate themselves, who are suffering from small wand syndrome. And because they have small wands, they either want to molest children or they want to get sex changes. Yeah, tell them I said it. It's really sick. You guys are supporting things like that, sitting there and supporting men. You're seeing these grown men wearing tight jeans and purses and heels, and they look ridiculous. And I see young women saying, oh, you go, girl. What? Are you maniacs? Why are you supporting that? You go, girl. You seeing a man look like a crazy person with tight jeans. His wand can't breathe, probably because he doesn't have a wand anymore because it's suffocating. And then you sit there and look at him look like a crazy person. Something's wrong with him. He's mentally ill. He is suffering from self-loathing. If I go and powder my face with white makeup all over my face and walk around and dye my hair with the white patches and put blonde hair, you would say I was hating myself. You'd be like, oh, Fleurbrun, you're suffering from self-hate. You would tell me that? Why is there a difference between that? Because it's gender. You don't think there's something, there's literally an agenda because there is a female matriarchy coming online and there's an inner jealousy that matriarchy is coming back. So you have men trying to be women because they're feeling this energy. Now, we're not talking about gay men here. So please don't go around saying, oh, Fleurbrun hates gay people. That's totally a different conversation. Those are men who acknowledge they're men that want to be with other men. There are women who acknowledge they're women that want to be with other women. We're not talking about that. We're talking about people who literally hate themselves, who say they feel like they aren't that. No, they don't feel like they are women. They don't like who they are. And some of them have made contracts to come in as women that used to be diabolical men, and they're mad, so they won't honor their contracts. What do you think that happens to men that are diabolical? They come back in lifetimes as women. So now they can exchange, karmic exchange, so they can learn what it is to be a woman and how they treated women in the past life. So now they're women. So instead of them satisfying their contracts, because some of them were dusty, dirty dogs in a past life, they want to try to bypass their soul karmic contracts, and they want to try to engage with women because they won't acknowledge that they're men. I mean, they want to engage with same sex because they don't want to honor the contract, or they want to change themselves back into men. I'm just saying, family, we're in a very pinnacle point in time, and you're seeing a lot of sick agendas playing out. Do not participate. Don't feed the animals. Do not feed the animals. You know when they tell you not to put your hand in the cages? Don't feed the animals. Oh, I have my address in here. It's not hate. It's actually my rational sense that allows me to have proper discernment. If you come to me for a Kiki session, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not I shapeshift on occasion, but that's more reptilian. I don't disallow you knowing that. I'm not a referee, but I am a qualified mother who's lived on this planet and seen a lot. If a mother calls me and says her son is acting like imbalanced and he's acting feminine, I would say to her, take out all the soy out of his diet. Don't give him any water bottles, any plastic water bottles with BPA. Give him clear water that's filtered yourself in glass bottles. I would tell you, make sure he's not drinking any dairy, because dairy does not help. It's a lot of estrogen and it's from another species. I would tell you to have him eat things that are more male based, like bison and buffalo, male animals. And you could go to a farm and make that request. Make sure he isn't eating eggs. Okay, if you had a son that's a little waverly in the way that he's expressing himself, as far as hormonally, notice I didn't say gender. I said his hormones are imbalanced. I would have you, this is my recommendation, I would have you address his hormone imbalance. That's what a normal, healthy doctor would do. If you have a doctor who sees a child who's feeling very feminine, that's a male, they're automatically saying that this child is gender trans. What do they have now? The new term for babies, transgender potentiality, or some craziness like that. It's a hormone imbalance. And why wouldn't he have a hormone imbalance when we're being genocidally influenced by GMOs in food? And nobody tells mothers if she's chiefing while she's pregnant, she's doing drugs while she's pregnant. Remember, the crack epidemic was a eugenics program that the Nazis had established when they did all the experimentation in World War II. So they knew that a specific type of chemical could chemically change and imbalance a baby in womb. So when they wanted a specific group of people to have issues and imbalances gender-wise or hormonally, what they did is they brought in loads of crack cocaine. And if you notice, with the spike of crack cocaine, the crack generation brought a whole lot of waverly sexual brown men You've never seen as many brown men that are really quite feminine. You didn't see that before because there wasn't as much chemicalization. And mothers were cooking a lot in their houses because they couldn't afford going out to eat. So mothers would cook home. They would cook more healthy food based on having more restrictions economically. When you saw the spike in males becoming more feminine, especially in the brown community, it was the influx of crack cocaine and purposefully done by eugenics. The spike of soy in all foods. You never saw soy in Wonder Bread. All these breads, all these crackers, shampoos have soy, family. They infiltrated you from every arena. That's why you see Waverly males. I'm not mad at the males who've been attacked. I'm mad at the people who are sitting there supporting it and not seeing it for being a form of warfare. That is warfare. You attack these males. They are suffering. They are victims of chemicalization that was purposefully done. So that's why I say you don't ever hate a male for showing up how he does, especially if he's a little Waverly in how he shows up as far as gender, because he's most likely a victim of gender manipulation via chemicalization. It's biochemical warfare. Thank you. My God. If I talked, you know how many males I talk to? The majority of males that haven't had a what we consider to be a hormonal imbalance, that are more feminine, most of the mothers were doing drugs when they were pregnant. Why don't you ask some of your gay male friends, not Lunars? It's totally different. I'm talking to mostly, and Lunars, it could be the same. I'm talking to brown males. Ask some of your brown males that are homosexual, gay. Ask them if their mother was doing, if she ever did crack or if she was ever on drugs or any prescriptions. Ask them. 90% of them are going to tell you that their mother were either abusers of marijuana, they were abusers of crack cocaine, or the mother was on prescription drugs. I don't even have to guess it. I can just tell you what the majority of them are going to say. Nobody talks about this. They want to sit around and support young men walking around with tight jeans and heels and pocketbooks, allowing other grown men who are sickos to enter into their rectum and think that's normal. That isn't normal, family. That is a form of mental illness, especially when it comes from chemicalization. Yes, we have males that'll come more feminine. Yes, it happens. It happens all the time, but it's not to the heightened degree. You do have males that come out feminine. It does. I don't want to make it seem, let me state this right now. There are men who do come out, or women that come out a little ambiguous. Now, we're not going to go into the fact that there are a group of people, what we call hermaphrodites, who have this quality. That's more natural than the hormonal imbalance. Hermaphrodites do occur in nature. That happens more. We're not talking about hermaphroditic expression. I've heard and known of people who are hermaphrodites. In every society, they have them. Okay? You'll see that in Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic had a whole society with hermaphrodites. I forgot, it was, they're still to this day in Dominican Republic. There were little children that were born ambiguous. And when it became a certain age, they either expressed male or female. I think it was due puberty. So they either became a male or a state of female. But they were all hermaphrodites. It does happen, and it is something that is natural. That happens. Do you guys know where the town is? It's actually, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have to get off of here. Oh, you saw a documentary on it? Yeah, I learned that in college, in University of New York. Okay. Okay, 7 children, 3 are males, 3 males. Oh, Awoa said her deceased sister died due to crack. However, she had 7 children, 3 children, but the males masculine. But I would ask you, was your sister doing crack when she was pregnant? When she was pregnant, okay? She may have had masculine males. Maybe she didn't do crack when she was pregnant. She may have She may have done it before or after. And remember, there will be exceptions to all the rules. I'm not saying every crack mother created gay males. That isn't the case. But I will say, if I take the ratio, if I say to you, even if it's 56% or 70% of all mothers who did crack previous and during pregnancy, that most of her children that are males come with a more ambiguous or a waverly sexuality, okay? That's still a high percentage that's denotably we can attribute to the chemicalization in her womb that made her that created an imbalance in her children, in her sons mostly. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to go into that. Yeah, you're right. I should change the topic. I just touch on that because I was talking about the imbalance and how everything's coming up. I was talking about matriarchy and why we're getting males that want to be females. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me get off that topic. I was talking about the matriarchy, and I kind of went left when I was talking about the matriarchy because I was talking about the connection of why there may be this push towards making men more feminine in order to try to piggyback off of the feminine energy. So whenever some beings know that something's coming, what they'll do is they'll try to mimic it and take it over and then piggyback on it. That's all. I'm just saying that. Planet X is, listen to, and I have to say it again. Why is it called Planet X, y'all? Planet X. Why is the nickname Planet X? Why is it the X-Men? That is the X gene. That is a feminine gene. I just want you to realize, see, connect the dots. It's Planet X because it is a matriarchy. That is the X gene. Okay? The X-Men, that is the X chromosome coming into, it means female. That's all it means. So I'm just trying to let you see what's going on. So yes, you're starting to see the connection between the matriarchy coming on and them projecting and piggybacking off of the feminine energy. I kind of went off on a tangent, so forgive me for doing that sometimes. I do go left because I kind of wanted to explain something, and sometimes I'll expound upon something that might go into another arena. Okay? So the X gene is literally coming online. That's why there's such a push and attack on the feminine energy here. That is why also there is a form of kidnapping and trying to harvest eggs of women, because there is a know that Planet X is coming home. And with that, there will come back into alignment a feminine hierarchy that takes home court advantage. Okay? That's all it is. That's all it is. And that's what I meant to say. So I apologize if I went off on tangent. I don't want to vilify. Let me say this. I'm not trying to vilify anyone. I bring science into it. I was a researcher, so I'm qualified to talk about science. And I do see when they try to attack something and when they try to manipulate the populace to accept something that isn't natural. Okay? That isn't natural. They will try to put piggyback off of something that they know is coming into power. They do it all the time. So if they know that men are in power, they'll piggyback. It depends on which group is doing it. So the Dark Cabal knows this. So don't fall for the okie doke, y'all. It is. Planet X is here. The rainbow event is very much invoking women. It's provoking. It's actually, it's activating the X gene. Okay? So women, that X gene is being activated. So if you're getting, and like I said, I think the majority of women I'm talking to, y'all are psychic. Fully. And when I say psychic, it's a very archaic term. All of you are psychic. I'm talking to sea stars that are having prophetic dreams daily. And I'm saying when I say prophetic, it's not big events. It's basic events. They dream who they see the next day. They dream about someone calling them from the office. They dream about their children saying things to them. It's daily. It isn't psychic like a prophetic and like a grandiose, like only for a major event. It's every day. I could tell you most of the women I talk to, the sea stars, most of them are having it every day. Every day. It's kicked up. So it's an X gene that's being exasperated right now. It's waking up and it's literally honing in on her heightened X-Men abilities. I could tell you when it's going to rain. I could smell it before, but I could feel the rain before it comes. That's an X gene. I can see in the dark. I told you that was one of the things that came about. Now we know maybe the rainbow energy brought that. I can see in the dark. Last night I was seeing places. I'm about to fly somewhere. I'm seeing the place that I'm flying to, and I haven't even been there yet. I close my eye and I see a flash of it, clear as day. I closed my eyes yesterday for a second, flash of like a full-on picture when I close my eyes. That's the X gene coming on deck. Many of the women are able to protect themselves. Like they literally they're told and get warnings before they go places. I had two young ladies who almost got in a car crash, but they had a dream that one had a dream that a car rear-ended her car, and then the other one had a dream that someone ran a red light. And both of the sea stars had the dream previously, and what they did is they listened to it and they actually witnessed it happening to someone else. So it's happening, family. It's literally women are being activated. That X gene is being activated. Remember, I got to keep reminding you, it's called Planet X for a reason. It's called the X gene. It's called the X-Men. Okay, remember they try to piggyback off of it. You get an exasperation of males trying to be females because they're trying to piggyback off of that energy that they can't have. The only way that X gene can be emphasized, now mind you, it is being emphasized in males because they do have one X. So let me state this: they do have one X. Males have one X, but the other one is a broken X, which is a broken leg off of X, which is a Y. Okay, that's why they get it, but not to the heightened degree. Women, you have two. You're dual. You're dually activated. So both of your fully functioning X's are exasperated. So that's why for you, it's times 20. It's times 30. Okay? Everyone should just take it in right now. And if you aren't doing drugs, if you aren't chemicalizing yourself, and that's why I think all these that's why they're trying to nanobot, all these Karens are coming up, these geoengineered Smiths. If you notice, it's all these women that are being triggered. Have you noticed it? There's men, but it isn't to the degree as women. Have you seen all these shape-shifted Smiths? Which people are calling Karens? I'm going to say that because Karen is a beautiful name. Big up to all the Karens in the house. Listen, anybody whose name's Karen, you have a beautiful name. It has such a beautiful meaning. I'm not speaking about you phonetically. I'm talking about the concept of Karen. Faith, thank you, my love. Fleur, is this why we know if our man is cheating? Yes, Faith. That's why women have sixth sense. When a man is stepping out, a woman knows when another woman is around your man. She does. We always did, but you know it now. If he's calling another woman or if he has attention on another woman, a woman knows automatically. The Krakens. She said the Krakens. So I personally think because of the exasperation of the exes coming online, women that are artificial, women that are artificial, and we talked about the connection to hair, because the hair, bleaching the hair disallows for the fielding of the energy, because remember, your hair is an antenna. Okay, so if you're bleaching your hair, perming your hair, it does disallow for the full extension of that into your endocrine system, because this goes into your nervous system. So our hair actually activates the gene. So when you unknowingly, because a lot of women don't know, if you unknowingly destroy the follicles in your hair, you're disconnecting yourself from source. So what normally would be your activation is your hair, because it goes through your hair and then that information goes into your nervous system. That's why we're getting activated. So that's why I think these shape-shifted Smiths called Karens, I think that's why they're losing it. I think they're having an ability, but it's becoming warped and glitched out. So they're actually becoming the opposite. And that's why they're trying to infest all the other people to be infested with Karens. Like it's literally an infection, like a demonic infection, like pods. So those blue masks that I see everybody wearing, I think that's like the number one way people are being infected, along with bleaching and perming hair. Like even with the young lady who said I perm my hair, I was like, do you realize that I've had the same hairstyle since y'all know me online? The only difference, my hair is a little longer and I just cut it. Do you realize my hair is the same way it's been? I don't understand. And she, remember, maybe I shouldn't even address it. Kind of pissed me off after the fact. I was like, why is she saying that? Like, she doesn't even know me. Just the fact, maybe she's projection. Maybe she's perming her hair and she felt a certain way about it. But for her to accuse me of that, it was like crazy. I'm like, wait a second. My hair has looked the same crazy way, all natural. The only thing is I wash my hair every day. When I go away, you hear me, you know, I get a set and I set my hair so it's a little straighter. But yeah, that did bother me after the fact. And even some there was a lunar person on here who was very upset that my hair texture. She said something crazy too. It was the first time lunars don't usually do that as far as I know. There was a lunar on here who said, well, you straighten your hair. I was like, listen, chick, don't come at me. I was like, absolutely not. Don't speak to me about my hair. Crazy daisies. It's crazy daisies. What are you talking about? Anyway, so I personally think that the hair bleaching is breaking up the connection to source so that they glitch out and that these Karens become along with the nanotechnology. So now they're broken off from their connection. So they're not able to be activated, but they're being activated by nanotech. So maybe it's like the cryptic way that the nanotech works when they have like a broken connection. I don't know what it is, but they're possessed and they want to possess other people. So big up to all the survivors of the Karens that are now calling the popo if they don't see you with a mask. The mask is the modern day pod from Body Snatchers. Now I know that the pods that we saw in the Body Snatchers, it's the masks that have the nanotech in it. I think that's what's doing it. Because I've never seen as many blue masks in my life. Have you seen all those blue masks? It's like a sea of blue. I was like, wait a second, how come everybody's wearing blue masks all of a sudden? I told you, if you have the one that you bought that I warned you to get in January, I do like to do that, throw it in everyone's face. I told y'all to get it in January. You should have gotten a regular mask that wasn't from Chinois neck of the woods, that didn't have the cucarachas all in the mask itself. And Narda shared a picture of these men somewhere in Asia wearing underwear, sweaty, in a dirty like a dirty room. Was it India or Asia? It was somewhere. Well, it's Asia. They were. I don't know if they were Indian or I don't know what they were, but they weren't from here. And they were in a dirty room in their underwear, sweating, and using a dirty sewing machines, and one is sitting on the floor and he's pulling, all the masks are touching the dirty floor when he's sitting on the floor. That's what where the masks are being made. And then people are putting that on their face as if it's sterile. And it was India. Thank you, Narda. It was from India. Putting it on their face. And then it has all this nano in the material. So the modern day Smith, the Karentarians, they are literally trying to pod you up with your mask, y'all. They're trying to call the popo on people who aren't wearing them. So I suggest we already talked about it, you should be wearing your shields. I showed you. Hold on. I already showed you the shield. Oh, this one's kind of ripped up. My daughter's. This is a shield. Okay. You can put the shield on. It's dirty, but you know, this is one. You can buy the shield so you could breathe. So I can breathe, right? Oh, this feels good. Oh, it works as a fan too. What? You know when you get this feels amazing. It works as a fan too, y'all. I just realized that. It's a fan. Oh, yes. Woo. Yes, honey. Yes. I feel like I have air conditioning. I am anti sitting in a car with air conditioning. Only time I do is if it rains. Oh, I love this. So it works dually. So it works as a shield so you can breathe, and then it works like a fan. Go figure. Okay, so you should have these. Now, if you're wearing the Kukarachi mask protectors, which don't protect you from the Kukarachis, you should be soaking them in sea salt. Remember we talked about that? Jamaican bigot or Jamaican brethren and sistren who said when you soak your mask in sea salt, it kills everything once it touches it. So big up to our family in the Caribbean. They kind of found something that really works. So if there's actually something viral, the salt kills it on contact. So you should be cleaning your mask with sea salt, okay, and then drying it, okay. So I hope y'all are doing that. And then I got a cool one. I just ordered the fancy spancy one. I hope it comes before I travel. I got the spancy one. I notice I said the spancy one. I got the spancy one that matches this outfit. I'm gonna be wearing this outfit when traveling. You like me? Okay. It matches this. It's got like, and it does, so they can't take pictures of your eyes. Remember they were saying that the AI was taking pictures, trying to isolate you, so they had the mask with the metal, so they could take pictures of your eyes to isolate your eyes. So now I got a nice little, it's totally iridescent, so they can't see your eyes. So I'm gonna walk around looking like, looking like Terminator X. I'm gonna be Terminator X walking through the terminals. Yes, honey. They're really cute. They've got all these fun. Yeah, I was like, I can breathe. I am going to breathe, and I could breathe, and I'm grateful I could breathe. I'm grateful I choose things to do so I can breathe. Okay, so y'all should get up on that. Okay, because every time I tell you something and you wait, then you get mad at me when it costs like $1,000 after the fact. If you're up on it, then you get it when it's cheap, when it's inexpensive, so that you can get it. Because once the crazies come and they get all this information, because you know the crazies will come, like the toilet paper apocalypse people. Once the toilet paper apocalypse people learn anything, they'll buy everything. They won't even leave any for you because they're hoarders. Okay, they're hoarders. So start looking, y'all look. You guys have to look on your own. I give you the tips. Go look. Okay. I think I took a picture. I showed it on my Patreon. It's the same picture on my Patreon page. Wait, people are at Walmart. What are they doing at Walmart? Why are people going to Walmart? Are they acting crazy at Walmart? Have you noticed that at Walmart, the only place where there's no camera is the toy section? Oh, snap, because they got cameras all... I didn't know that, pretty mind. Because probably they have cameras all over the toys. Because it's a pervert. You know, wherever there's children, there's perverts. Oh, you know what? I didn't watch the new Terminator with the woman. Did you guys see that? I might have to add that to my watch list tonight. Did y'all see the Terminator with the woman? Oh, I've got to watch that tonight. I didn't see the one with the... did you? How was it? Is it worth me seeing it? Do you guys think it's worth me going to go see that? Did it have gems in it? Okay, yeah, maybe I should go see it then. All right, I'm going to watch that too. The female... Okay, oh, it's worth it. Okay, so I got to put that on my list. These are all... Listen, people always say, why do you obsess with movies? All of the... Remember, the universe has to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. They put all the truth in movies because they hide it under the guise that it's artificial, it's fiction. It isn't. It's basically like biographies of the Matrix. Okay, so you learn a lot of what they're cryptically doing through the movies, cryptically. So I love to see it and take notes, because with a wide eye, with your first eye open, you see all the cryptic clues. So it's always good to watch it. We have a list. So a movie list. Okay, so for anyone coming in, please put a like on the video as you step in the room, please. Okay, so the movie list. Here we go. We have, I told you, the event. Big up to the C-Star who offered it. I told Narda it does cost $24.99. If anyone can find out how to get it free, it's only one season. Okay, so the event is first homework. Annihilation. If you did not see Annihilation, it is a must-see because you can have an idea about the rainbow energy. The rainbow event. Okay, so the rainbow event is, we're actually in the rainbow event right now. If you see Annihilation, you can get a concept of it. Okay. Breasts of Mass Destruction. Yes. What was the other movie? Body Snatchers. If you want to see what the Karens are up to, the Body Snatchers, the old version of it, I think in the newer version it's the same. The pods, you just have to replace the pods with the mass of mass destruction. Okay, so the pods are now the modern day nano masks. Okay, Lucy was good. Under the Skin. Oh, and I got to do the cloning video. there's so much things I can share with you, family. I think maybe, oh, you know what? I'm going to do that on tonight's show. I'm going to do that in tonight's show. I'm going to discuss, that'll be in the private show on Patreon, because I got to give our Patreon, big up to everyone on Patreon. Thank you for joining the private circle. It's the only place that allows me to feel safe, because YouTube always is pissing me off. I'm going to discuss the skins that people are seeing. It's not a cloning center, it's a skin center. So your homework tonight is to see under the skin. And then you'll know why. Okay, so that's a movie that everybody should see. That was one of my #1 movies I told you to watch 4 years ago, or 5 years ago. I don't know when I told you to watch it. 4 or 5 years ago, I told you to see Under the Skin. I'm not going to tell you about it, because if you watch it, you understand what I'm saying. All those skins that they have, I think I'm going to do the show on that tonight. Yeah, because, yeah, I got to do the show on that tonight. Okay, that's with Scarlett Johansson. Okay, remember, she plays in a lot of these movies. Okay, they like to pick specific types of characters to play some of these roles for a reason. Okay, so we have that. What other movie did we say? Someone just said, what's the other movie we just said? Okay, we had Body Snatchers, Under the Skin. Lucy's good. Lucy, you should always see. That's emerging. Lucy's all consciousness. That's perfect. Lucy, everybody should already have seen. Ooh, Celestine Prophecy. Is that good too? I've never seen that one. Dr. Sleep. Now, Dr. Sleep, we got to be careful telling people to go see it, because it's very traumatizing. So if you're hypersensitive, please do not watch. Oh, Red Dawn you should have seen, because Red Dawn is what they're trying to initiate now. Be careful watching Dr. Sleep. It's the best movie to show how they vampire, but it will break your heart. It just will mess with your consciousness. Okay? You're getting a lot of great movies here. There was another movie that we were supposed to see. What is it? The Black Tower? What's the Black Tower? Who's in that movie? Pretty monotheism. Who's in that movie? I've never seen that movie. I don't think I've seen it. Maybe I have. The Dark is good. Well, Doctor Who, I'm a Doctor Who fan. Doctor Who is great just to see anyway. If you like I've been watching Doctor Who since the very beginning. Fast Color. What's Fast Color? You guys have some good movies on here. I don't even know what Fast Color is. I gotta see some of these movies. The Strain is really good. See, we have a lot of movies. Oh, They Live is a classic. You have to, if you've seen anything, you definitely have to see the classic. I mean, the classic They Live. If you've not, when I talk about reptilians and you come to my channel and you be like, oh my God, Fleurbrun is crazy, you've got to watch They Live. If you've not seen it, then you're not really about that life. They Live is like our poster child of the experiences that you're undergoing right now. Fast Colors. Wait, let me write this down. Can someone remind me? Fast Colors. Oh my God. Wait, hold on. I gotta watch. Do I have to watch? Hold on. Fast Colors. Hold on. I gotta write that down. Fast Colors. Maybe I saw it. Did I see Fast Colors already? Sometimes maybe I saw Sid said it was good too. Oh, V. V is all reptilian. That's how you know how the reptilians are here. Oh, Fame versus Sacrifice. Oh, we've got some great movies in here. Okay, so y'all will never leave the house. Well, this is good for all those people who are in quarantine right now. Look at all these great movies. For everybody who's in quarantine right now and you can't really leave, you need to get your Netflix on and start to catch up on all that's going on right now. Okay? The Event is a new one I say to watch, because it's showing what's occurring right now. Okay? It's very important for you to watch. Look at the dust. I have red dust all over, like I'm on planet Niburu. Fame versus Sacrifice. Oh my gosh, y'all got great movies. There's a fantastic movies in here. Soy Lectin Green. Oh, Soylent Green is absolutely talks about us eating human flesh. Now, I will say this. There's been human flesh alert. Do I offend you? Let me apologize. My mother said I should apologize. Listen. My mother sees this show sometimes. Unfortunately, like my daughters will show her, because they try to tell on me. They like to show their grandmother things. They'll show me. My mother really feels bad for you guys when I'm sharing all these things. She was like, you're traumatizing them. My poor mother. She thinks I'm traumatizing. Oh, let me say this. Yes, McDonald's has found teeth in their food. I don't know what teeth. I think it was an Egg McMuffin. I don't know what it was. Teeth there was a full bunch of human teeth at that. Not even, listen, not even like animal teeth, like molars, like human molars. Okay? So if you don't like eating human flesh, there's people on here who are cannibals. I'm not trying to blow your spot. You know it's true. Listen, there are a lot of different types of entities that we're living with, and you need to get up on the fact that not everything here is eating greens and cucumbers all day. Some of you get really disgusted. We're living on a planet where species consume energy. They consume energy. There's entities that consume frequency. There's entities that consume human children. There's entities that consume baby cows and baby chicks. I mean, we're living on a very unique planet, y'all. Okay? So I'm just saying there's a lot going on. And we don't judge on this channel because we got reptilians all on our page. Big up to the reptiles in the house. Big up to the Sirius and Lyrian beings here. We've got, I was talking to a sea star who's connected to the Nomos. Big up to the Alpha Centaurians and the Nomos, which is the aquatic beings. We got a lot of beings on here, family. So that's why I say I don't really get mad. When they're eating human children, though, I take issue with that because I just feel like, come on now. You know what I mean? You're living amongst humanoids. You're trying to be humanoid, but then you're eating the children of humanoid. You know what I mean? But you can't judge it because these are different species. So big up to all the other reptiles and entities that we coexist with. Dr. Delbert Blair used to call it a prison planet. He called it the penile planet. You're living on a penile planet. What? Anyway, okay, so we got all these movies on deck. So this is your homework for tonight. The energy of the rainbow is still here. I still feel it, but yesterday was really strong. So I would suggest if you have seen the rainbow, if you have witnessed the rainbow, please document it. I would love to hear. Please don't make up fabrications. It's not a dream. Not that I'm taking away from any of your dreams. You know, sometimes you have to be a little more knowledgeable that yes, you can have very prophetic dreams, but a lot of the things that happen as far as UFOs and events will happen in real time. So if you've experienced a rainbow event in real time, not in your imagination, not in a dream, please hit me up in the email so I can so I can document how many people and also what blood type. I know that if you don't want to, you don't have to write me because someone will be like, she's getting people's blood type. You do not have to send me any message. You don't have to tell me anything. Matter of fact, you don't even have to talk to me. But if you do and you want to share and you want me to take the information down, because I do that and I document it so I see who's having the experiences and what genetic lineage is having it more in one way or another, it helps me. I'm a researcher by nature. So if you've had interface with the rainbow event fully, remember, I can see it. My little ones did not see it. I'm an O positive. So I saw it, but I did experience the rainbow event. A young lady here, I don't know if she's still here, ninth realm. Don't put your blood type on here. Ninth realm. She had actually seen something that was the rainbow event and she was feeling it. And she's the one who also experienced the rainbow event when it happened. So ninth realm, don't put it here, but put it in my email what blood type you are, because I think that also has to do with maybe some people see it or have a certain connection to it. Okay, and if it's connected to Niburu coming in or Planet X, the matron planet coming in, then maybe it's connected to the blood lineage of those from the brown dwarf. Maybe the people who are actually experiencing the rainbow event fully are actually the offspring from Planet X. Go figure. Maybe that's the awakening. So maybe those offspring from Planet X, when their planetoid comes home, when home comes home, get it? When they're home, their genetic home comes home. Maybe that's why some people see the rainbow and some people don't, because they're not from their blood lineage. So I can only account from that if you email me. I don't know. Okay? So just let me know if you want to. This is a choice. It's not forced. I'm not influencing you. I'm not begging you, and nor am I trying to convince you. That's only by choice. So if you want to share that, please share that. Okay? You have pressure on your head too? Kayla says she has pressure too. It was a rainbow by your house the other day. Naima says she's got a rainbow by her house. See? Naima's experiencing it. Probably that Naga bloodline. Apollonia, thank you, my love. Just a heads up. I got intel. There are restaurants. Wait. Intel, everyone. Calm down. Hold on. Apollonia says, just heads up. She got intel that there are restaurants in Cole in New York City, and other places that serve healthy human meat. Yes, one of the restaurants is called in Cali, shut down because they were using mortuary meat. Oh! Wait, hold on. Ah! 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 Woo! We do know they have restaurants. Actually, we know that they have restaurants. Thank you, Apollonia. Apollonia, you were just playing music the other day. You blowing spots. Oh, shoot. They're coming for me. They're coming for me. You know what the problem with that is? That statement was, Apollonia. You know what the problem was? It wasn't. It's so sad that the problem only was that it was mortuary meat. It wasn't a. They only shut it down not because it wasn't healthy, live, organic, vegan, human flesh. It was only shut down because it was from morgues. I can't. Ah! Shoot. Ah! Ah! My bra strap is showing. I would throw up in my mouth. Look at the dude. What are you looking at? Oh, there's a reptile behind me. Hold on. Shapeshifters. Oh. Elvis has left the building. Listen, I can't. I really can't. I can't, family. The only reason it shut down was because it was mortuary meat, because the human flesh has to be organic, vegan, human, grass-fed human flesh. It was GMO human death flesh. They didn't shut it down because it was serving human flesh. It shut down because it wasn't quality human flesh. It had been rotting in a morgue too long. I can't. Listen, I'm creating a sanctuary, please. All my donations are going to my sanctuary. I'm blocking everything. Listen, my sanctuary, I'm creating it on a vortex. I'm going to close that sucker down. I'm putting walls like China. I'm going to put a Fleurbrun wall all around my sanctuary. We won't be seeing anybody until I know that the Night Bureau is fully here. I can't. I'm closing the sanctuary down. I can't, family. I can't. Apollonia, you took me out. Apollonia, I'm gonna be down and out for like the next 20 minutes. I don't even have anything to say to that. I feel like we should put an emergency lockdown. I feel like since Apollonia told me that, I feel like I need to lock down my entire zone. Lockdown. It's like too much. This is information you don't want to know. It's like lock it down. These motherfuckers don't even care that they're serving human meat unless it's from a morgue. Oh, I need help. This is when the Christians be like, oh, Jesus. You know when you have Christians, they be like, oh, Jesus. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. I feel like I need an exorcist. Apollonia, I feel like I need an exorcist after you just... I feel like I've just been infected in my brain, and I feel like I need to go in like quarantine. I'm gonna go in my house, and I'm not gonna come out for a couple days. I'm gonna stay in my house. What planet? Listen, I told y'all years ago, you thought I was joking. I told you they were making everybody vegan so they could have fresh vegan fleshed humanoids. You thought I was crazy. So they were cleaning out humans so they had fresh I don't know if you want to see the meat train. I told y'all to watch the meat train. Look at this dude. He thinks I'm crazy. I told you to watch the meat train. Remember I told you to go watch the meat train, the midnight meat train? Do not watch that with your children. Let me give an alert. Do not watch the midnight meat train with your children. Do not watch it. Do you understand? Do not watch it with your children, just like Dr. Sleep. But if you want to take a look at what goes out, that meat train was taking people to go to feed some reptiles. I told you 5 years ago, all this vegan push was to make you susceptible to nanobots, to make you more infiltratable, to hijack your synapses. And I told you the other option was they're cleaning you out to make you permissible edibles for the ETs that come here and shop. I told you remember that newscaster? Y'all remember 6 years ago? I recorded it. You know, I have so much in the archives. I gotta find it in the archives. There was a reporter who reported that ships come here every 5 years to go grocery shopping. Every 5 years there was a ship, an ET ship, a reptilian ship that came here to go grocery shopping. And at the time they would come, there would be missing people like in the mass drove during that time. They would go, remember that? Dee remembers that, Griffin. I gotta get the old video. I gotta find it. I saved it, and I have so much stuff sent. Oh, Apollonia. Was that you who sent it? Wait, Fleur, they send the leftovers to children's homes, retirement. Oh, Apollonia. Wait, let me put Apollonia. There you go, Apollonia. I'm gonna just highlight your name so you can disseminate this. They're sending leftovers to shelters and to children. We need to like disinfect the planet. Thank you, Violet. Oh, Hulu Marvel's The Runaways. Oh, that's another movie? Okay, big up to you for sharing that. Apollonia, you've gone too far. Apollonia, your connection to Prince has brought us to the Purple Rain. You brought us to another pinnacle point. I can't. So now we have leftovers going to senior places. So now they're eating human flesh. Yo, I don't know about you, but I feel like I gotta leave the planet. I feel like, listen, I swear to you, this is a fortune-telling moment. I'm closing my sanctuary off. I'm telling you, until these diabolicals are disinfected. I am. When I create the sanctuary family, don't ask me questions. I will tell you no lies. I'm putting a snake pit all around the sanctuary. If you try to come to my sanctuary, you will get bit the heck up. Listen. I'm going to surround my entire sanctuary with a snake pit. Because I only trust snakes at this point. I only trust the nigga. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. It took me a moment. That's why I said she took me out for like 20 minutes. She took me out for 20 minutes. That's why I tell you all this mock meat, all these impossible burgers. You vegans, listen, y'all vegans have been eating human flesh. They just said it's not animal. It's no animal products. What did they tell you in vegan products? They say, oh, it's animal products. They didn't tell you it wasn't human. That's like the fine print, the fine line print that you got to read between the lines. It's not there are no animal products in this whatsoever. But they won't tell you that it's all human flesh. Beyond Meat. Oh, shoot. They got Beyond Meat. They got Impossible Burgers. I was saying, because I was telling people a while ago, remember, I could talk shade because I was part of the vegan. I keep it real. I was part of the vegan and vegetarian community. Let's see. How old am I now? 7. Since 15. So, well, not the whole time. Okay, so mostly for about 30 years. I know people will be like, oh, dag, you ancient. Yes, I am. For about 30 years, I've been a part of the vegan vegetarian community. When I say vegan vegetarian, it's because a lot of times I would be a vegan, then I would be a raw vegan, then I would be a vegetarian, then I would be a vegetarian for a couple of years, and I would do it different. So I was like that for 30 years, on and off for 30 years. So when I became more of a flexitarian is when I had babies, and I became more of a flexitarian. But I have a lot of fruitarian ways, okay? So when people ask me what's more of my dietary eating, I'm more of a flexitarian now. I eat as my body needs and requires. I'm more of a fruitarian. I do better with that, but because I do feel like eating a lot of the fruits, because the fruits aren't as bitter, I do bulk a little bit. So I notice with eating the fruits here from the States, I tend to be a little thicker than when I go to the Caribbean. Like when I go to the Caribbean, when I was in Jamaica, when I was in St. Lucia, when I'm in Martinique, when I was in Dominican Republic, whenever I ate fruit consistently as my main source of food, I never would bulk. But the fruits are a little more bitter. Here, because they've been geoengineered a little differently, they're more sugary, more sweet. In the Caribbean, we eat more bitter fruits. Any Caribbean on here? Caribbean people on here? Anybody Caribbean on here? Yeah, Sid is, right? You swell so much, right? From the fruit, right? Dollface? I just feel because it's something, I think it's totally different. Like I said, when I was in the Caribbean, I could say it, I could qualify it. When I'm back home, oh, thank you, Ralph. When I'm back home, I don't bulk. I just don't. When I'm here in the States, the fruit makes me chunkier. So I think it's something to do with the fruits, because even my mother said that. She was like, why does this, she was like, when I was, it was the other week, I was eating fruit. She was like, you seem like you bulk when you eat the fruit. I was like, I don't know why. And she was the one who denoted that when I had my first daughter and I was back home, I was eating mostly 99% fruit, and I had slimmed down beautifully. So I think it's a difference, and it could just be where it's located too. So it depends. Okay. So, I'm just saying, be careful what you eat. So if y'all are vegan and you're eating mock meat, Guadalupe, oh, Guadalupe is beautiful too, and Dominica, right? If you're eating mock meat, like the Impossible Burger and, what is the other one? The Impossible Burger and what's the other one? Beyond Meat, most likely, oh, Camille there, right? There are West Indians in here. Most likely you're eating human flesh. Okay, you're eating human flesh. I don't care when somebody's calling me on FaceTime. I'm getting phone numbers from all over the place that are not from here. Someone called me from like some number I've never seen before, and they call me FaceTime. How are you calling me on FaceTime from a number I've never even seen before? Like, why do they want to see me? You ever see that? Some weird number. Yeah, they're calling me because they want to see my face. They want to probably put their laser eyes on me. Probably they want to put their laser eyes on me, and like I open up the screen, and then it's like an alien, like looking at me like this. That's crazy. I'm getting all these weird phone calls lately. Are you guys getting social security numbers? Are you guys getting that too? I've been getting weird cryptic phone calls lately. I got one from Social Security saying someone stole my social. First of all, how you know my Social Security? And then it doesn't tell you your name or anything. It says someone has stole your Social Security number. Do not fight it. If you want to address it, call this number. I'm like, wait a second. Why are you calling me about my Social Security? Who are you? Like, how would you know my Social Security? And how would you know is it connected to this number? Because my name is not on my phone. So how would they know what my Social Security number? They've been calling me, and then some weirdo phone calling me now. Look at this. Look at, I'm being harassed. Now, mind you, why do they have to work behind me right now? They got 50 million parts of the road. You experience symptoms of the rainbow. Thank you, Agro. Niburu returns. Agro says she's been experiencing the rainbow event. Thank you, Agro. Look at this. All of a sudden, they want to do all this work right behind me at this particular time. There's 50 million. Listen, family, if I showed you this, they could work down the road. My house is not even located in a way that you would want to start anything. They're purposefully parked behind my house. They're sitting right behind me. They are being special. I need to, so family, for all you vegan people, just be careful with what you eat, those fake burgers. If you're not a meat eater, why are you still mocking meat? This is my thing. And we denote that in the vegan and vegetarian community. If you're not a meat eater anymore, why are you still mocking meat? Why do you still have to taste bacon? When you first stop eating meat, yes, you do have cravings, but it also tells you if you're still having cravings for flesh, it's because you're not naturally supposed to eat, perhaps that way. Fruitarians usually crave fruit. If you're a natural fruitarian or a vegetarian, you naturally crave fruit or seeds or nuts. You do. You just have a natural craving for it. Okay? So whatever you eat should be something that naturally comes to you naturally. So whatever is indigenous for you, whatever comes from your family, like there are people I know from like places like Scotland, where Poland, they crave like more starches. You know that, right? They have natural cravings for starches like potatoes, and they crave like figs, like figs and things like that. They have natural cravings for things that their ancestors ate. So they eat a little more starches, certain kind of starches, like they crave things like that, like sauerkrauts. Like I know Polish people have a craving for those things, like fermented things. That's more because they're craving things that their ancestors ate. I know a lot of brown people from the States here, they crave a lot of, you crave fish. Fish is big. My mother craves a lot of fish. She loves like old fashioned, like porgies, like from back in the days. She craves like those old fashioned and red snapper. She loves red snapper. And did you notice? I know I'm sidebarring for anyone in here. We've already finished the conversation. This is a sidebar moment. I know people coming here are like, are we on the topic? We already discussed the topic. We moved on. My mother craves red snapper. Do you see how much red snapper is for y'all? Did you see? I went and bought her some red snapper. I swear to God, it broke the bank. I brought a red snapper that was already cut and done. The red snapper, I bought it from Whole Foods. Yeah, it's a little more expensive. Listen, I bought, 3 nice sized pieces of red snapper. It was $98. Listen to me, family. You would think, listen, I can't make this up. It was no. It was $68. And then I got another piece. For red snapper, y'all. We used to go to the boardwalk in New York. My mother used to go to the boardwalk, and we get the fish. Many of the everybody did that. Everybody went to the pier in New York. We used to go to the pier and get the fresh fish. And in the Caribbean, we would do the same. We would go to the pier and get fresh fish. I went to Whole Foods. I brought 3. Listen, you can't even feed a whole family with the fish. It was $68, and I added another piece, and it came up to $98 for fish, for red snapper. I'm yelling at you. I'm sorry. It was red snapper. Yeah, you might as well fish yourself. That's crazy. I couldn't. Caroline says she catches. I was just disgusted. I showed my mother the fish. She thought I was punking her. She was like, my mother said, what? How much was the fish? I was like, yeah, mommy, it came up to $98. She thought I was joking. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sorry, I'm snapping at you. But I'm just saying the food, they're raising anything that's healthy for you. Hey, Melanated High Priestess, they're raising the prices of food to the way it's astronomical, especially things that are good. All the omegas are really good for your brain. So if you do fish now, the omegas are good. I told you, when I told you to get the fermented cod liver, that's great for you. It used to be $30. Now it's $55 for the bottle. Anything fish that also tells you that that's healing to you. Oh, matter of fact, before my flight, I need to take the cod liver oil. I forgot about that. I got to take, big up to anyone who bought the fermented cod liver oil by Blue Ice. I think it's Blue Ice makes that one. Everything that's good for you, they're hiking up. For males, a lot of males crave meat. So I know a lot of, I know my mate is not a vegetarian or vegan, but I only get him buffalo or bison, and I make sure I get the male. So I know a farmer who he only slays one bison every month, and that meat comes from that bison. It's one bison and one buffalo. So I only get the meat for him from that farmer, and he only slays from that one. So I get that for my mate. I get that for him, and then I get him, he's West Indian, so I get him like he likes snapper, he likes kingfish. What else? I like to get him grouper. I like grouper. I love to do grouper. Grouper's really good, or freshwater cod. So I'll do things like that for him. I don't do chicken and mass destruction. He already knows. Goat, yeah, if I can get goat, I get goat from the farmer. Only when they have goats, only when the goat's in certain season. So I do get goat meat for him as well. I do goat, bison for him, buffalo for him. I do red snap. He loves his red snapper. I do red snapper for him. I love when I make, I do grouper for him sometimes. Catfish is a carp. Don't mess with anything that's a bottom feeder. Catfish, they eat from the bottom. They eat a lot from the bottom. So I do things like that for my mate. So he's more of a, he's very manly. He's very, alpha. Alphas, 99% of alphas all eat meat. So I don't know. My girlfriend fought me on this. I said, yo, the most masculine men eat meat. That's not a judgment. That's just what I know. I know alphas consume very male, masculine. They're hunters by nature. So it would make sense that an alpha is he needs a different kind of way that he processes food. And I know when he eats the bison, he is absolutely, he's strong. So I'm just saying, I know people will be like, oh, I have a vegan. No, he's not an alpha. Alphas need meat. They do, or fish. They're meat and fish eaters. And you could just tell in virility wise, if you look at certain alphas, and this isn't a judgment, well, it is a judgment. I look at men that are totally vegan and vegetarians, and I look at a man who eats healthy. Notice I said healthy beef, healthy meat. And I will tell you that my alpha could outrun, outsmart, and beat the heck out of anybody who eats, males who eat purely vegan. It's a very passive position. So I'm just saying, I'm okay with having a male. He's okay with me eating the way I do. I eat fruits and stuff, and he's okay with that. Like when I make I make some great vegetarian meals, he loves them. It's not to say he doesn't, but I know what he requires. So I don't require bison and buffalo like that. I really don't. So I don't have to consume that. But I make it for him, and he loves it. He loves the meat I make it, and I always pray. I always treat my frequency of the meat. I always give gratitude to the meat. I always give honor and gratitude to the meat that I create. I heal it frequency wise. I tell the meat that I love it. I'm grateful that it's going to nurture my family. You know what I mean? I love it. So I make sure I do that for him. So yeah, and I don't. I cook for my mate. I call me an old-fashioned heirloom female. I cook for my mate. I make sure when he's out and he comes home, and I even cook for him when he goes away. So I make sure I make him meals. I make sure I prepare him meals. Like if he's traveling, I make sure I prepare him meals so he doesn't have to go and stop anywhere. I don't want him going to have junk in, the gas stations or anything, or when he's traveling at the airport. So I make sure I prepare for him. So I make sure I feed him frequency wise. And he feels amazing, and it's I like I said, I'm an old-fashioned female in that way. I treat him well. I do. I love making things for him. My opinion is that you can't physically fight with optimal strength on a vegan diet. I only eat fish. Yeah, fish will get it. Um, if you go vegan, it will waste away literally. Yes, Toya said that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, my mate is gonna be with me for life, so we're life partners. Yeah, till death do us part. We're life partners. Yeah, I love him, and I make sure I put that love in everything I prepare for him. So, like I said, he went away. I made sure I made him. I made him a bison burger, and I made it with gluten free. This amazing gluten free. It was made with it's gluten free. It had flaxseed. It had flaxseed in it. It had quinoa, and it also had some tapioca flour because I don't really mess with the cassava flour as much. I made it was like a nice bun, and I added that, and then I made it nice and bulky for him. And then I wrap it. I don't put anything in tin foil. We don't do tin. So I did it in those wonderful brown, the brown bags you buy for the lunch. I wrap it in the brown bag. I made it so it's nice and soft and moist. And then I put it in like a little, because you can travel with your little, your little travel. It's like a cooler, a little mini cooler that he can wear as his backpack. I put on there, and then I also put some fresh tea. I make the most. If you came to my conference, I make the best soursop tea. So soursop and moringa tea. So he loves my moringa and soursop tea. So I did that, and I put it in 2 containers. So if he got thirsty, I put 1, and then I made sure I put the purified water. I don't play. I make sure when he travels that way, and then when he comes home, I make like a whole bistro for him. I marinate things for days before he comes home. Everything. The way that when I love someone, friend, family, or mate, I treat them like gods. I do. My babies, I treat them like gods. I feed them. I feed them anything that's loving. Moringa, but I make moringa and soursop tea. So I sweeten it with maple sugar. So I make a moringa. Anyone at the conference, you guys loved it. Yeah, at the conference I made that. It was so yummy. So it's a moringa and soursop tea. And then I make it with maple sugar. And then I always add key limes. I don't use any of the limes. I don't use artificial limes or lemons. I do key limes. So key limes are the best. Someone who grows key limes, right? Do you guys grow key limes? They're easy to grow. Key limes taste the best. And even when I marinate his bison, I always marinate with key limes. Like I clean all meats with salt. I clean all the meats with salt, and then I put key limes. I always marinate his bison, even the buffalo. Buffalo has a little bit of a gamier taste, but I do it with key limes. I love key limes. That's like my favorite. Okay. Soursop is good for the intestines. It's good. It's an anti-carcinogen too. What, the blue? Yes, the blue skate. I told you that. Yep, the blue skate ice. Is $55. So yeah, I remember somebody saying, "Oh, it's slavery for you to cook for your mate." I said, "What?" I said, "What feminist told you that?" See, don't listen to these feminists, y'all. Y'all will be living an archaic life. Feminists don't like men. They don't like mating with men. They think they're men. Feminists are anti-man. Okay, I love men. I do. Divine male, he drives me. I love him. Don't you listen to these archaic females that don't like men. They don't even like themselves. Women naturally, tribally, we prepare for our men. Our men bring resources and they protect us, and we feed them and we nurture them. That's what the actual female is to a male. We nurture and we bring nourishment and and love to our males, but they bring in resources, and then they also protect us. So it's a beautiful harmonic relationship when you're balanced with male and female. I love men. So when people come on here saying I'm anti-men, absolutely, actually, it's the opposite. I love men listen, there is no doubting what propensity I have a liking to. I crave a very alpha male. And if I don't have my alpha male now, I will seek out another alpha male and I'll mate with him. That's just how I roll. And if you can handle being with the alpha, that's what I suggest you do. And I feel safe. I feel protected. I feel loved. I feel honored. And I feel respected. So, you know, don't listen to these archaic females out here telling you that you should never serve a man, or you catering, or you preparing things for him, or you taking. That's what when he goes out and he brings home resources, which is abundance. What, he's just supposed to come home and cook his meal too? Absolutely not. That's insanity. So he's going to go hunting, and then he has to come home after he's just busted his butt hunting, and then he's got to come home and cook for you because you're lazy. A lot of these arcade, don't listen to these Becky bots and these daughterisms. They're lazy. They're just really lazy, and they don't like men. They don't even like being with men in a healthy way. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. I'm just saying, tribal women, that's what we do. And that's what we're going back to. So that's why all these Becky bots and these daughterisms are losing their minds. These thought bots, they're ridiculous. All they care about is staying online, playing TikTok all day, doing hair and makeup tutorials. They don't even know how to fry. They don't even know how to fry a zucchini, let alone care for themselves. Don't mess with these, please. If I can ever encourage young men and young women, because us women of a certain age, we know this already, but don't listen to these people who hate men. She, men, women haters, men haters. They will have you lonely, horny, and bitter. They will. They'll have you lonely, horny, and bitter. And then they're going to look at you all crazy when you have a fulfilling relationship where you're being honored. Please don't listen to these crazy fembots. They're out of control. All they do is do makeup all day. They don't have time to cook a meal because they're too busy engrossing themselves with materialism and shallowness. In order to be a good mother, that's part of the repertoire too. Because you should. I cook every meal for my children: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My children won't be eating cereal in the morning. I prepare breakfast. There's fruit in the morning. I prepare usually sometimes pancakes. I make things in the morning. If I do it, I do yogurt. Those are things. I prepare things every morning, every lunch, and every dinner for my babies. And I do the same for my mate. And when my girlfriends come over, they get catered to too. You ask them. My girlfriends come over the house, they get it too, because I love them too. So when they come over, they know that their best friend is going to cater to them when they come to my house. I make sure they don't have to lift a thing, because in their houses, they got to do too much in their house. So when they come to my house, I make sure that they are fed well, they get to relax, and they get to enjoy the amenities of being a guest in my home. Okay? Stop listening to these haters that are anti-man. They haven't seen a real man since the 80s. They're probably dating some of these Waverly men. That's why they don't realize what the natural process is. Let me stop. I'm being a little judgmental. Let me get off here before y'all stone me. Y'all will stone me. You'll see videos about Fleurbrun. She's archaic. She talks to aliens. She said she's a shapeshifting reptilians. She said not to wear bras and let her breasts of mass destruction out. And now she's telling women to cater to men they love. Oh my God, she's the devil. Rebuke Fleurbrun and her antics. She's absolutely insane. She told us to have natural hair. I can't take it. She's a digital, what do they call me? What do they call me? A digital, what is it called? I forgot what they call me, a digital something. What should I mean? A digital, I forgot what they call me. They call me something. They call me so many names. I would say, is it rational? Why are you mad at me? Why you come to my channel and subscribe to me to be mad at me? Why you even come here? My thing is, if you don't like me, like people come in here and be like, Fleurbrun, you talk too much. Okay, why are you listening to me? This is like rationale. Like, why do you listen to me? They come to my room in our room and they're mad at me for talking. You don't stay on topic. Then why are you here? Why are you still subscribed to me if you feel like I'm absolutely out of my mind? Why do you call me a digital whatever, clone or whatever you call me, but you subscribe to me? This is my understanding. Like, there are people who subscribe to me who will listen to every video but be mad at me. Mental illness, yo. I can't. See, even Jay Chin says sometimes you leave, to be honest, but you always come back. I'm saying, I will piss you off. Listen, I may piss you off occasionally, but if you're a rational person, you'll know that you don't have to agree to anything anyone does all the time. We live in a world where people that have disagreements will literally talk negative and totally vilify someone for them not agreeing with them. That's crazy. If you don't agree with me, then just don't agree with me. You don't have to hate me. If I say that I'm shapeshifting into a reptilian and you think it's crazy, why even come and why even come to my group? It's madness. We gotta, come on now. I'm just saying mental illness is really rampant and basic discernment is literally fallen to the wayside. When I don't like you, let me give you a secret. When Fleurbrun doesn't like you, I don't support what you do. I don't go to your platform. I don't watch your videos. I won't ever watch someone that I'm not liking. If you send me video, there are people online that have pissed me off. I won't ever subscribe to them. I unsubscribe to them and I don't even look at their videos. And when people share them, unless it's something outrageous, I don't really speak about them. That's what happens when you don't like someone. If you like someone, you subscribe to them and you listen to them and you absorb it or what have you. But you don't have to like everything I do. I talk about things all the time. I talk about all kinds of crazy things all the time. All right, I'm being summoned. My little one is up. I'm being summoned to go inside. It was beautiful talking to you. I'm going to go with my little people and do my very feminine things and be a mommy, which I am all the time, right? I'm going to go on mommy duty right now. All right, y'all. Let me go. I hope everybody has an amazing day. Enjoy, taste the rainbow. Enjoy the rainbow energy. We will begin to start to unravel Niburu's return. And it will be interesting, again, over the next few months to see how this plays out. And do your homework and watch all these amazing movies, The Body Snatchers, the Event, Under the Skin, Annihilation, quite a few movies we had on deck. So make sure you enjoy those movies and we'll probably discuss some of them. And tonight, I think I'm going to talk about the Under the Skin, the skin, the skins that are that someone actually notified. I'm going to see if I could do that tonight on Patreon. So thank you for everyone joining today. Please, as you exit the door, I ask that you put a like just as a common courtesy, and we will reconvene at another time. So I love you. Have an amazing day. Peace.